I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
What up, man? The real Coach JB. My main man, Big Smitty.
Are y'all ready for this?
Run like something to prove it. Came to a conclusion that it's Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to your side, worldwide, we in your city. Sounds fine. Keep it 150. We never change what's happening. Hurdle link
In any metric, Coach, you cannot have Russell Wilson.
Nick gave me my first offer. Like, you got to have that store. You got to be marketable.
Hockey, football, baseball, then basketball.
Oh, I love this fucking show so much, man. Are you mixing light and dark at 11 a.m.?
I'm elated that I can be able to coach, that I can be able to mentor these kids, and give them everything that I've learned over the last 20 years.
Get Smitty and Jason Brown, killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap. Smitty and Jason Brown, we killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
You are now tuned in to the Coach JB Show.
Hello? Can you hear me? Derek. Man, God, I hate this dang phone line, man. I'm sorry, JB. I spent all this dang money on this phone line, and the signal was horrible. I don't get it.
Guess what? All right, appreciate you. We got a new deal with Mint Mobile. I just saved your whole life in phone drama. Mint Mobile is now a new proud sponsor of the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty.
Stop playing.
Your problem's been solved.
We got a partnership with Mint Mobile? You talking about Ryan Reynolds, Mint Mobile? Stop playing right now. Hold on. Let me Google this real quick.
You can try mintmobile.com/CoachJB and get 3 months free when you use the promo code CoachJB.
Hey, man, I did a quick Google search real quick to make sure you wasn't playing around. They got plans as low as $15? They got plans for $30, unlimited everything. Speed, coverage, data, access to 5G, unlimited talk, text, mobile hotspots. You can talk in Mexico, talk in Canada, and they're built on the nation's largest 5G network. Are you kidding me, JB?
Hey, and everyone wants to know how hard it is to switch to your service. Big Wireless wants to think it's hard. They want you to think it's hard, Big Smitty, but switching to Mint is super easy thanks to digital eSIM cards, which most phones now have. You can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your own home. Mint Mobile does it all. Short, fat, skinny, and tall. That's why the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty is proud new sponsor using promo code CoachJB. Try mintmobile.com. This is where it's at. We got it, Big Smitty.
So, hey, I'm switching over to Mint Mobile right now, JB. I'm done with this company I'm working with. They crazy. The line it never works. The signal is out, and it costs too much money. I'm going over to Mint Mobile, JB, and y'all should do the same.
Big Smitty, I'm calling you right now.
JB, Mint Mobile.
Mint Mobile, clear as day. I hear you clear. The new promo code Coach JB right here, 3 months free. Mint Mobile, try mintmobile.com/CoachJB and get you there free. 3 months off, family deals, all deals, short, fat, skinny, and tall. Mint does it all. Proud new sponsor. Much love. We'll see you later. Peace. What up? I got a dig big. You don't even know what the shirt says. It fucks people up. Let me just tell you that. It fucks people up. This is the real Coach JB. We're live here on this free game Friday. Fearless Friday. Football Friday. We got a big football lineup. I can't wait to dive in. I'm going to bring my main man right out the gate. Big town, Naptown, big time, Ball State, Fox Sports, hairline looking like LeBron, Homer goggles looking like AR5, all that and some more shit. Big Smitty. Clap it up for Big Smitty. I'm going to bring you right in out the gate, Big Smitty. I'm going to bring you right in out the gate. I got a lot to discuss here, man. I got a lot to discuss here on this right out the gate. breaking news, first of all. It's not really breaking. I've known for a few days already. Smitty just found out. Jerod Mayo is the new head coach of the New England Patriots. That just broke earlier. Good friend of mine's the O-line coach there, obviously. So I got a little wind of it during the show yesterday, but couldn't say nothing. We're going to dive into that. We're going to dive into that one. I'm surprised, but I knew about it. I'm surprised, but it was in his contract. A lot of people don't realize he was contracted to be the next head coach. So a lot of people didn't know that. So a lot of people sat around and was thinking somebody else, including myself, would be the head coach like Vrabel or whatever. Not the case. Mayo. Shout out to Kraft for keeping a loyal cat on the staff there as a head coach. But at the same time, I'm a little bit shocked that they went with a rookie, a fresh flower, so to speak, to take over that organization. It's not like, the Arizona Cardinals. We're talking about the Patriots, a team that's been to 9 Super Bowls in the 2000s alone. So little shock there. The thumbnail reads, Kelce will be back. Travis Kelce came out and said he's not retiring. He will be back next season. But does that bring the Swifties with him? Does that mean that Taylor Swift and the Swifties are back too? Chiefs Queendom, stand up. Can't wait for that one. Bill Belichick sells off into the sunset, Big Smitty. We already know. We found that out, earlier this week. But he sells off into the sunset. What's next is the question, I guess, you and I will dive into here. Florida State, Big Smitty, seems to just just keep sinking in quicksand. Florida State was penalized yet again by the NCAA, Non-Caring Assholes of America, for NIL-related violations. I can't wait to dive into this shit, man. I'm fed up. We're going to dive into that. The Yankees signed Soto to a 1-year, $31 million record deal, by the way. It's a record 1-year, $31 million deal to avoid arbitration. So we're going to dive into that. A little baseball, get Big Smitty on his white people shit. QB Casey Thompson. All right, so this kid is going to Oklahoma, all right? Now, this is a kid I'm going to break down on this show. I'll give you the story later, but Casey Thompson just got a 7th year granted to play at Oklahoma. Really? We're going to dive into that. Dan Lanning says he's staying at Oregon. Was confirmed he was offered the job, as I did state on here, so at least I was right on half of it. The other half was he didn't take the job, so I was wrong. He stayed. Something happened. Who knows what? Shout out to him for staying somewhere and building something special and putting his own stamp on his own thing. That is we're going to dive into that one. And who does Bama go to next? Georgia staffers routinely drive after drinking. Sounds right to me. It sounds normal to me. Oh, it sounds regular to me, but we're going to dive into it. Mel Tucker, my man, Mel Tucker, man. I've known Mel a long time. Loses a court case, appeal denied. He's going to get that big bag that he thought he was. We don't know. We'll find out. We're going to dive into that story. The Milwaukee Bucks smoked the fucking Celtics by like 40 last night. They were up 40 at one point, 106-66 at one point. And I turned the game on. I was like, oh, my God. Holiday probably wish he stayed. But the Bucks have been struggling. Kendrick Perkins just mentioned right before that game that the Celtics are the best team hands down in the NBA, and they got beat by 40. So any given night, we've never had 3 multiple games with 40-point losses. We're going to dive into that because – God damn, the Trailblazers lost by 60.
6-0?
Man, I'm going to dive into this Chauncey Billups thing just so we're clear. I can't wait to dive into that. And then I'm going to talk about 5 candidates to watch for the Alabama job. I'm going to give you 5 names, and I believe one of those 5 names has to be the next head coach at Alabama. And then me and Smitty and I are going to break down our top 5 players to start a franchise with. Going to be interesting. and the Lakers lose to the Suns as Bradley Beal seems to be warming up. I love Bradley Beal. I'm glad he's finally playing. I wouldn't have paid him either to our whole story all week long that we've been pushing and talking about on this show. But we're going to dive into it. We're going to dive into it. Now, Smitty, I got to dive into a few things here.
Go ahead and do it, my guy. Go ahead and do it.
All right. Number one, my morning rant that I always want to have you included on because it's a back and forth. I also today, a special day, because I also have it make sense. I got two today. So let's talk about it. Nick Sirianni has been mentioned in the news lately that he may be fired if they lose Monday because of the availability of a certain coach named Bill Belichick and Pete Carroll and guys that are never usually available at this time of the year because usually, Big Smitty, we're talking about hiring the next best coordinator out there or the next, young and upcoming guy. There's never been a Pete Carroll and Belichick sitting around like, uh-oh.
Playing with their thumbs.
Yeah, we ain't had guys that have won Super Bowls sitting there. Now they're 72 years old, and we like cats wear capri pants on the sideline and shit. But these guys are there. I'm curious to see how this unfolds. But here's why I have a morning rant and kind of pisses me off when I hear this. You got to be shitting me, right? Like, this is become so out of control, Smitty. I got to be real. This is an absolute mockery that we are bringing up something like Nick Sirianni being fired Monday if they lose to the Bucks. It has become so out of control with this instant gratification thing that the media throws out there to put not only coaches, but players in harm's way on a daily basis. Like, this guy was a play away from winning a fucking Super Bowl less than a year ago. What are we doing, people? It's crazy. It's sad. It's fucked up. It's shitty. It's funny. Yet it's reality in today's world. Smitty, I don't really get it. This guy to me has been the coach of the year for a year and a half. He's done a hell of a job. This is, in his last 3 years, he's done a hell of a job building a program there and a culture. The media, mainstream media pushes narratives a lot of the times, not only on coaches, but on players. Like, they get players, out of there, traded, et cetera, et cetera. They're pushing this too because Belichick's available and he's up the street from Philadelphia and he's an East Coast guy. And they're pushing these narratives. They're actually saying all these things. He grew up in Pennsylvania. Like, they're saying all this shit like, this dude deserves an opportunity, homie. He just went to a Super Bowl and maybe a PI away from winning one. Now we're going to fire him if he loses to the Bucks because their team has kind of hit a bump in the road. That's what happens in this game, dog. That's what happens in this game. And that's what happens in real life, too. I don't know, Big Smitty. I don't know where you stand at, but I'm kind of pissed off that we keep pushing these narratives on a guy that just went to a fucking Super Bowl less than 11 months ago.
Yeah, it's a shame because, if this guy gets fired, then nobody should feel safe. Don't matter, because basically you're saying you can take our team to the highest of heights and you still will get let go. So it's like, if that's the case, if I'm a coach, if I'm in this profession, why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand I love the game. I love the passion. I'm good at it. But if I'm going to get fired every single time I don't win the Super Bowl, well, we're going to have brand new coaches every single year for every single team because only one team can win a Super Bowl. This Eagles franchise, man, that he's taking over, whether you like Nick Sirianni or not, has been one of the top tier teams. Even this year, we know that the season didn't end the way that they wanted to, but they're still 11-6 in the playoffs. Like, so what are we talking about here, man? I understand Belichick's available. I understand Pete Carroll's available. These are two legends. I'm not even saying that if the Eagles grabbed one of them that they wouldn't be super successful. I'm sure they would be. But are you going to go with a Belichick or a Pete Carroll who maybe has 5 years left maybe? These guys are 72, 71 years old. It's not like they're going to coach till 90. So
you're
you
telling me that McCarthy is going to be on the hot seat too then?
That's what we're saying. If the Cowboys were to lose.
how fair is, and this isn't fair. This isn't a fair world. This isn't a fair life. It's definitely not a fair business in NFL. It is results-oriented business. Let's be honest. But how shitty, I guess I would say this is, because most people in America don't go to their job knowing, damn, I got to hit this quota today. I got to sell 26 cars today or I'm fucking fired tomorrow. McCarthy's basically been told, homie, go ahead and fuck around and lose tomorrow. Your ass, I got Belichick and Pete Carroll out here. Like, think about the fucking added pressure that they throw on these cats because of these narratives that are pushed out there. This guy's won a Super Bowl too, by the way.
Right.
He's had an MVP quarterback under his watch, and Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
All these different things. I'm trying to figure out the job, the profession that we already are like, what are we doing to it? It's a shittier product this year than it's ever been. Why are we're even making it harder to watch when we're pushing coaches out now like this. Are we trying to get just all these Capri-wearing McDaniels on the sideline? Is that what we're trying to do? Or are we trying to do something else? I don't know. But let you guys make the assumption. I got another take. I want to do a Big Smitty. And usually we do one or the other. I got two today, though. Make it make sense. We got to get a graphic made. Make it make sense today, Big Smitty. The fucking Chief game is on Peacock. It's literally the dumbest shit in the NFL that I've ever seen done before. The NFL has literally dropped the ball, and make it make sense why the Chief game is on Peacock. And listen, you call me a hater all you want. I've never seen the NFL do something this dumb, and I hope it fails. I hope it fails, and I'll be the hater. But I steal from the rich and hang with the poor, Big Smitty, as Eazy-E once commonly said. This is bullshit. Like, why are you making more people have to pay in an inflation era in economy, and we're making you go buy and pay for a fucking Peacock subscription? Because you know why, Big Smitty? There's going to be more games in the playoffs. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of the AFC, NFC title games is on that motherfucker, forcing you to get it. It is complete bullshit, in my opinion. The NFL's dropped the ball for the people, the common people. And I'm going to continue to hang with the poor, steal from the rich. And I got y'all back. I ain't getting no Peacock. And Marshawn Lynch is being used as a tool as they run up ads to get subscriptions to buy Peacock. Marshawn, you a real one, homie. I got to holler at you. Stop doing that shit. You making these folks come out of their pocket for a fucking app, a streaming app, to watch what should be in their normal cable pay cycle. Their normal YouTube paid cycle, YouTube TV, Direct TV, Dish, whatever it is, Cox. Now we got to go get Peacock to watch one game. By the way, I'm giving you guys some free game. This game's going to be played in negative 30-degree weather. It's going to be Snowfest. Would you really want to pay to see that game? I'm not going to really pay to see that game. Let's just keep it real. And Peacock does not let you cancel right after you buy it.
Oh, for real?
No. See what I'm saying? So I
saw a girl post a video of a runaround. I'm gonna find it and send it to y'all because there might be a runaround to be able to still get that free stream. It's like if you download another app, some other app has Peacock a part of their package. So now you still get the free trial.
I'm sure they're gonna shut that down this week today.
Right.
I wouldn't pay for that. See that game. This game's gonna be miserable to watch, Big Smitty.
But it's still the playoffs, though. So, like, you really can't afford them as a playoff game, though. Like, this is what we do. We can't come here on Monday and not know what the fuck went down on the Dolphins and Chiefs game. We're going to just watch the highlights, but, no, the highlights don't tell the full picture. But you ain't leave that shit. So, I mean, we can't talk about Chiefs till, like, Wednesday.
I know. It's fucking dumb. That's
it's messed up, but I mean, money talks, JB. Money talks.
Yeah, and they force you to do these things. That's why, hey, government been doing that to us forever.
I mean, even you. I mean, you use YouTube TV to watch all the games. That's another streaming site. If you want to watch all the games, you gotta get YouTube TV. So that's just where the world is at now. Everyone has their own.
I got rid of all my other shit. Anyway, we're here on Free Game Friday, man. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member. We started off with a barn burner. We hadn't even give you the quote of the day, and I got a little fire-ass quote of the day. This show is brought to you by AQMS. Make sure you head on over to AQMS. Dial 1-888-233-3110. Tell them Coach JB sent you. If you need to move a couch, a house, a bus, a truck, a car, elliptical, a pool. You motherfucker move a pool. They'll pick the whole pool up, put it in the truck, move it. AQMS 1-888-233-3110. Quote of the day brought to you by betonline.ag. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV. Get you 50% off plus welcome bonus. Quote of the day, Big Smitty. We waste priceless time by dreaming. Driven by imagination, but kept alive with illusion. And put to death by reality. Let me say it again. In life, we waste priceless time dreaming every night, but we're driven by imagination. If hopefully you all have an imagination and you can dream with an imagination, I do. We're kept alive with illusion that something good is going to happen. And then we're finally put to death by what we call reality. Cold business, cold game. I made that up, man, this morning. Bailey was like, I like that one.
This morning?
This morning, yeah. I pieced that all together myself, yeah.
Okay. All right, impressive.
Yeah, that's real talk right there. Contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over to Prize Picks. Use the promo code Coach JB. You can't please everyone, Big Smitty, so stop trying. Contrary to belief. Real simple. I'm just giving you some real shit today on the contrary to belief ones. If you are still searching for that one person who will change your life, Big Smitty, take a look in the mirror. Contrary to belief, that's the motherfucker that's going to change you.
Look at yourself. Look at yourself. I love that one right there, JB.
We got a lot going on. Poll question, Big Smitty. Who would you start an NFL franchise with? Don't you answer, Big Smitty, but everybody out there, answer who you'd start an NFL franchise with. What player? Smitty and I are going to start with 5 players today, but what player would you start an NFL franchise with today? I'm sure 99% of you are saying a quarterback. It's going to be interesting because, you know, I like going against the grain. We're going to break that down. But I probably got a quarterback. Let's get into the show. Kelce is on the thumbnail, and he's saying, I'm coming back next year, Big Smitty. He's saying, I'm coming back. No plans to retire anytime soon, despite the rumors from earlier this season when he was dropping balls, looking like he's had chicken grease on his fingers, fucking with Swifties, having this girl everywhere, becoming a, shot recommendator, all this old shit. Says, I love football. I'm coming back. And Swifty's coming with me. Big Smitty, he looks old. Okay. He looks disinterested. He looks fat. He looks out of shape. To me, he has to turn his whole mindset around and get that Tom Bradyism in him or that Aaron Rodgers in him to show me that he really is the guy that wants to play again. Because to me, this year, he looks like he's just defeated. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not the same, you know what I'm saying? But even in a down year, the man still had 984 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns on the team. That offense in totality has went down, not just because of Travis Kelce, but also because of his quarterback play and Patrick Mahomes and just great defensive play amongst some of the other teams. So, I mean, I don't think you get 984 yards. I don't think it's time to retire. But I think it's still clear to say that you're not the same guy. Like you're finally over the hump of your prime and your peak performance. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's still a ton of value you can add to that team. I just think that the Chiefs they can no longer depend on Travis Kelce to be their number one guy. They need someone else there. Whether it's a receiver or they do a 2 tight end set, whatever. Mahomes needs another weapon to depend on. And Travis Kelce, I think at this point in his career, can be a great number 2 option, number 2, number 3 option. But depending on him to be like your guy, I think we're past that point. And that's okay. He's been great for a long time. So this is not even a shot at Travis Kelce. Everyone gets old at some point. And in the NFL, sometimes it creeps up on you a lot quicker and sooner than one may expect. So I agree with him not to retire, but at the same time, yeah, this was a down year, and I don't see him like just bouncing back next year and getting 1,500 yards receive. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think this is where he's at now, and it is what it is.
I look at it a little different. I look at it as he only had 900 yards in what we call a mid-season because he doesn't have anyone else over there. There ain't nobody else there. He was force-fed for a lot of this 900 yards, and I think made him look even worse because when he was force-fed, you saw him drop more balls than he's ever dropped before, telling me that something's not right with his mindset, with his physical attention to detail, mental attention to detail. I don't know. Something's going on, but it is what it is.
And real quick, Sean Waffle, I'm not defending Mahomes. I'm saying that Mahomes can't depend on Travis Kelce as his number one option anymore, in my opinion, because I think Travis Kelce is getting a little older, and we've seen him get slower. He looks bigger. Anybody with clear eyes can see that Travis Kelce this year was not the same as he was in previous years. So I'm not defending Mahomes. I'm just saying Kelce is not a number one option anymore.
Yeah. It's crazy. We dropped bombs on Yemen and shit yesterday. We about to be in World War III here in a minute, and it's crazy. I don't know. It's crazy. They said
make it your life right. I know that.
Hey, they said Donald Trump would start the war though.
Man, I don't know.
This other 78-year-old motherfucker started it.
JB, I don't trust none of them. I don't care about none of them. I'm be real with you. I don't care about the one we got now. I don't care about Trump. Everybody trying to pick a side and be like, see, we told you Biden was going to do that. Trump wanted to do it. And the other side, see, Biden's doing this. Trump didn't do that. Fuck all that. Let's put somebody in there who's a true leader. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like football. It didn't matter if he was black, white, green, orange, Mexican, Asian, from the hood, comes from money, from middle class, low class, upper class. We are all coming together for one common goal. If the country could do that, we'd be a lot better. We're so divided about, and we put so much loyalty and trust and belief behind a man, whether it's Republican side or the Democratic side. I'm not even on either side. Traditionally, growing up as a black man who's poor, I was always just subconsciously taught to be a Democrat. That's what it was. Just being honest, that's what it was. So that's naturally who I've been and who I've leaned toward when it comes to the voting side. But like as I'm getting older, I'm more just kind of in the middle of just like who cares about us. And I'm gonna be real. I don't know. I never know if anybody cares about the country because there's so many hands that are it's like a puppet. You got so many hands and stuff pulling strings to where even if you do have a good guy at president, he can't make the final decision. Isn't just on the president. It's on. You got the House. It's just so many pieces of the puzzle that controls what's really going on. So it's like the president is the face, but that's not really the final say so in a lot of stuff. So I don't know. We gotta stop putting so much faith and trust and stop worshiping men. Like y'all be going crazy. I be on Twitter, man. People, Trump is this, Trump is this, Biden is this. It's like, bro, these are just men. These are just it's me and JB. These regular men. They wipe their ass, when they go take a shit. They put their socks on and their shoes. These are regular old everyday men, and we worship these guys like they're supposed to just change our world, change our country. Stop putting faith in them, man.
Yeah, it's crazy too. Don't mention don't say you don't like Trump and shit. These motherfuckers, you'll get fucking crucified. It's crazy. You can't say you like. Back in the day, dog. I remember we had presidents we didn't like and shit. We didn't have no My dad was he wasn't shit. He wasn't Republican, Democrat. We were we ain't nothing. Because he taught me early on, ain't nothing more crooked than a politician and a priest. And I live by that to this day. The crazy part is back in the day, though, you could at least, you could bullshit with your boys.
Have a conversation, right.
Fuck Trump, fuck Biden, blah, you know what I'm saying? And barbershop banter with it and drank that night together, had dinner, whatever. It was still chill, right? Nowadays, that shit worse than Crips and Bloods, dog. You say you don't like Trump, you ready to be fighting. It's shit what? Fuck Trump. Fuck Biden. I would say whatever I want to say. But now you can't say it. And it's I've been on record for a long time, dog, saying, I don't care who it is, but can we get younger?
Right. Just start there.
45-year-old motherfucker in here? Like, do we have to have a 97-year-old cadaver in the motherfucking office of what was the best country in America? Like, right. I don't know. But damn, I don't know what we're doing, dog. But Britain or UK's involved. Australia's helping us. Like, what? We bombing Yemen? 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 That's serious? Like, it ain't that motherfucker. It ain't like Russia or something.
No, man. It's so much we don't know, JB. That's the scary part too. Like,
that's why I out of it. That's why I got a dick pic.
They only show what they want to show us.
That's crazy. So. Patriots hired Jerod Mayo. We already mentioned. Shocked or no?
No, not shocked. I mean, we talked about a little bit yesterday that he was obviously an option. I know you wanted to go a different route. You know what I'm saying? Just because this guy hasn't had any actual head coaching experience, but he's been with the Patriots for quite some time as a player and also a coach. So he's underneath the Belichick tree. You know, obviously, you know, I'm biased having another brother and a former player at head coaching position. I'm never going to be mad about that. But yeah, he has some large shoes to fill. We talked about who has the biggest shoes to fill. He has some large shoes to fill. And I just hope that he can bring his own flavor to the team. And even though he's underneath the Belichick umbrella, I hope he's not just doing exactly what Belichick did. You know, you got to bring something new and different. Otherwise, there was no point of bringing you as a head coach. You might as well keep Belichick in. You know what I'm saying? So I hope he can bring his own flavor, his new energy, his own like ideas to it. And I hope he's successful because we talked about this before. Unfortunately, most coaches under the Bill Belichick tree has not been successful once they went off and became head coaches anywhere else. So hopefully he can break that narrative. I'm happy for him. Defensive minded guy, you know what I'm saying? So we shall see. But I'm not surprised though, JB.
Yeah. I think it was in his contract from what I'm seeing and hearing. And if that's the case, he was due. He was a coach in waiting, so to speak. What we used to say, coach in waiting. If that's what he is, then that's what it is. Shout out to him. You're 37. I think he's the youngest head coach in the NFL right now. All right, let's get into this Florida State thing, man. Florida State's being penalized by the NCAA for NIL violations. Make this make sense. This could have been a make this make sense topic as well, but I had to go off on the Peacock shit.
NIL violation. I like, how can you violate the NIL at this point? I've seen everything. I've seen all types of numbers and people. We know they're paying for players. We're like, what is something you can do that's violating NIL? Like, how far can you go to where it's illegal? That's the part I'm confused on. Like, I need to read up more, I guess, on what exactly they did. But regardless, it's just crazy that Florida State is in the mix again. Look at Allen. He got a bill from Indy. JB.
Hey, Alan, I'd call up Keith. Hit up Keith and tell him to go find out what it is. Here's the bottom line, Alan. You graduated from there with your AA. You can't get your diploma and your degree with a bill. So they gave you a degree and a diploma. So that means you didn't know anything or something's cracking. 5 years later, they bill you? No.
You know what? You're right, JB. You can't graduate with a bill. Even at Ball State, I remember it was something weird happened where I somehow had a bill or something, and I was like, I had to get it figured out ASAP. Because I'm like, one, I'm on 4-hour scholarship. I shouldn't have no bills.
Unless I pulled a string for Allen and I forgot and I got him the shit so he could get out of there. I used to do that too, Allen. So I don't know, Allen. You better find out. You better hit them cats up.
Oh shit! Check your shit. He might have had that degree.
I did have some pull now, you know, but I'm saying I will take care of my babies. Don't get it twisted. They was gonna get out of there and get to the 4 year. Regardless if they own a bill, I was getting them out of there.
That degree might not be valid. Allen, you gotta check that degree. I don't know if it's real. I don't know.
Maybe white folks don't like me. And it's fucking independent. I've got a lot of brothers in there, graduated them. They didn't like that. Anyway.
I gotta dig big, man. I gotta dig big. You that ran wrong, man.
Dig big, homie. All right. NCAA. Miss me with the bullshit. Stop playing with me. So hold up. Wait a minute. I'm trying to figure this out. Pull up that Bailey again real quick. Is there some more information on this shit? Because we're the first show cracking, and I know this broke last night. The NCAA is expected to penalize Florida State for NIL-related violations. How do you have an NIL violation? I want to know right now, how do you accumulate a violation, Smitty? Do you know anything about that?
I'm trying to look it up real quick because I'm just trying to understand, like, what exactly, because that was my question, because there's really no rules to this shit right now. I'm seeing people talking about Cam Ward is worth $1 million, $5 million, like, you know what I'm saying? People are throwing out crazy amounts of money. So it's like, what exactly could they be doing to where we're at this point? So I'm looking it up live right now, trying to see what's going on.
By the way, this is the first school. Remember, y'all violated Jim Harbaugh personally, but this is the first school that you are violating or condemning, saying that they're going to be sanctioned. So apparently a Florida State booster offered a transfer prospect $15,000 per month to sign with the Seminoles, which is illegal under NCAA rules. So,
hold on.
They try to get a guy from Georgia to transfer to Florida State, but ultimately elected not to sign with Florida State. So, hold up. Wait a minute. Is the NCAA this dumb with it? You're telling me that Florida State offered a guy $15K a month.
Right.
Violate them for offering that, but the kid turned that $15K down a month to stay at Georgia because Georgia offered him $20K a month? Are you fucking serious?
That don't make sense. That don't make sense. That's what I'm saying, JB. Like, it's public knowledge. It's not even like we're sneaking around no more. Like, players, Archie Manning's making like $8 million. They're saying Caleb Williams made $5 million. Players are making more than this per month. So I talk to coaches right now who, when players are getting recruited from the transfer portal, they're saying, I mean, what can you offer me? $300,000? I'm gonna go over here. They're giving me $350 in the car. So like, we're doing this about 15 stacks. That's what I'm saying. The NCAA is so backwards right now. The leadership is horrible. You're suspending Harbaugh for giving some recruits some damn cheeseburgers, but then at the same token, you're allowing the collectors to get these guys six-figure contracts. But then on the same token, you're going to try to get Florida State sanctioned because they're giving somebody $50,000 a month. Like, make it make sense. Like, it don't make sense. There's no connection with the three. You allow this, but don't allow this. Allow that, but don't allow this. It's like, what are we doing here, NCAA? We need new leadership. I vote for Coach JB, head of the NCAA. Get shit back in order, JB. We need you.
Listen, and all these people in the chat are like, read the story instead of surface level. There ain't no read the story, motherfucker. This is surface level. It's all surface level. I don't want to hear that they drove the kid to the collective. So you're telling me that you don't think fucking Colorado and Oregon and SC have driven players to a meeting point with a fucking collective? And you're going to sit here and tell me now and make excuses for your fan base that hasn't been caught yet? And you're going to talk shit about Florida State? Well, just wait till your fan base is caught. Because that's all you are. You're a fan for your particular school. You're probably a Clemson fan or whoever, if you're mad at Florida State. And you're sitting here telling me that they drove a guy to the thing. It's illegal, coach. Shut the fuck. You sound like a bitch. You sound like a bitch in this chat if you were fucking sitting here trying to tell me that you're fucking really you're really arguing with me over a drive in a car to the collective. Are you shitting me? That's your argument? That's why Florida State should have a fucking 5 scholarship cut half visitation and a fine? That's what you're telling me? That's what they deserve? Get the fuck out of here. You know how many things I could tell you about these fucking schools that I know for a fact that have thrown me a bag of money to get my player, thrown me money to have me drive a motherfucker to a place? How many times I know that have driven players to a collective? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, man, this is why the NCAA got to go away, homie. They're the judge, the executioner, and the fucking jury. It is unbelievable. We find Chase. We find the fucking DN at Ohio State because he flew his girl to the Rose Bowl. And then we take Harbaugh and suspend him 6 games, 3 for a hamburger, 3 for a miscellaneous, no proof allegation. He still won the Natty, by the way. Then you fucking took a fucking Quinn Ewers, allowed him to have a $200,000 one-day visit at Texas, but Harbaugh can't buy a cheeseburger for a broke player.
I got these cheeseburgers, man.
Make it make sense.
It don't. I can't make this make sense, even if I try. Yeah. If you offer me money to do it, if you offer me if the NIL collective came through to this show and said, Darnell, make this make sense, and you'll get $50,000 a month, I'm gonna have to miss that bread because I can't make it make sense, man. NCAA is too inconsistent, and they've been this way for a long time, man. We're just letting them off the hook because players are getting paid outside of the NCAA right now, and we've kind of put the NCAA in the back burner and kind of forgotten their inconsistencies and them getting away with murder, so to speak, with them not actually paying the players. And this is another example of them just like having this poor leadership. That's the best thing I can say.
So let me ask you this. Man. So the Florida State Seminoles must disassociate with this booster in question as well. Number one.
Like a year. I think for a year, right? Or 2 years, maybe.
3 years.
Yeah.
And disassociate from NIL for 1 year.
There you go. Yep.
Program 3, NIL 1. That means the school cannot accept funding from this guy. So now you're cutting off these teams' funders. Like, that should be criminal because you are not paying these players from the NCAA kitty, telling schools to find boosters and collectives to pay the players under your regime. And now you're telling that you can control who can pay the school when you still aren't paying them? Dog, I would take these motherfuckers to court some type of way, get together and try to fucking force their hand. Get these motherfuckers out. This has become a straight up, I don't know, starting to piss me off, dog. I don't want to say the wrong shit, man. I'm telling you right now, this shit is starting to piss me off because I'd be livid if I'm Mike Norvell and I'm losing a collective to my program when I know for a fucking fact that Clemson, North Carolina, Syracuse, and Miami and everybody I play during the season is trying to poach my players in stretch lines during and after the game. But yet you're bitching at my collective because I drove him to a meeting? Get the fuck out of here, man. This shit is a fucking mockery, man. It's starting to irk the shit out of me. It's about the players.
Not at all, bro. And last thing real quick I want to add. Think about the chain of events that have occurred at Florida State in the last, 2 months. You know, they go undefeated. They don't get put into the playoffs. They get their asses kicked against Georgia because 20, 30 or whatever their main players don't play. And then now they're getting sanctioned where they won't be able to have one of their main guys who brings them money with the team, which is going to lead to them losing players and players not coming in. It's like we're seeing like a live, not torture, but just like downward spiral, so to speak, of Florida State right in front of our eyes. It's crazy.
Don't go against the network. Don't go against the good old boy network.
Don't ever go against the network, homie. Let me just tell you, don't go against the network.
Illuminati.
Remember, they sued Remember, they got lawyers and sued for not being put in the playoffs. Don't get it twisted.
Hold on. Now you see, JB, I forgot about that. See, now you own it. So now your brain doing this. Now
you doing that. I just was like, shit, that's just the normal thing. That's what they did. Don't ever go against the fucking collective, dog.
That's the real answer, JB. Forget all the bullshit we said. That's the real. You sued us? Oh, okay. We want to dive into your shit. That's some gangster shit, though. Damn, JB. NCAA gangster like that?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's what's happening. Just don't get it twisted. That's what's happening.
That's crazy.
It's like Biden's son walking around the airport with marshals. Why are you walking around with marshals? All right, let's dive into this. Soto. Juan Soto, Yankees agree to a $31 million one-year record deal.
Get your money, Juan. Get your money, Juan. Hey, I love it, bro. You know,
Hey, this ain't a brother, though. This ain't a brother, by the way.
He's Dominican, I know, but we similar. We similar. He's still a minority, man. This guy, you know, young cat, man, left fielder, and one of the best in the game. You know, I'm always pro player. You know, you can get your bag, and 1 year, 31 M's. We ain't never seen that. That's legendary. So shout out to him, and shout out to the Yankees in a way, because I mean, you're you know, keeping one of the best players in the world on your squad. You know what I'm saying? We saw what the Dodgers did this offseason. You know what I'm saying? They rocking and rolling. You know what I'm saying? Shohei Ohtani, they brought a few other cats. So Yankees, you're a historical franchise. So you need to keep stars. And the league is better when you got stars on the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Cubs, etc. So
is it better? Is it better? Yeah. They said the last 10 years been really good because there's been a lot of Astros and a lot of Giants, and there's been some.
I mean, the Giants are still
Atlanta Braves, Washington Nationals, or whatever their name is. Like, is it better now, though? Because the Dodgers, Yankees dominate again. All those teams shitty again. Remember? Because there ain't enough players go around. Ain't no money like that. All those other mid-ass level exemption teams are going to be shitty.
I mean, think about the 80s, though, in basketball, man. I know that was your era. You love seeing Boston and the Lakers go at it every single fucking year, basically. That's just what we want to see. So, like, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with the top teams dominate. You know what I'm saying? Hey, there's no cap in baseball. So it is what it is. The richest team's going to win. And that's what's going on right now. So,
all right, let's dive into this, man. Casey Thompson. All right, let me give you a little backstory. Casey Thompson is now getting his 7th season of college football. I gotta be real, man. What's going on? But before we crucify this kid, Cam Rising is playing in his 7th season too. He just has chosen to be at one place. So do you give him credit for staying at one place, but he's still playing his 7th season, or are we going to crucify Casey Thompson for transferring around to how many schools? 1, 2, 3, 4th school. Now, let me give you some insight and backstory, because I have personal backstory and insight. I've had this cat up at Indy. I tried to recruit him to Indy along with Cam Rising. I recruited both of them, and I didn't give a fuck. I was trying to bring both of them to Indy at the same time when they both entered the portal leaving Texas. Both quarterbacks were at Texas at the same time, 2018. I recruited both of them, and I knew Cam personally. He's a California native. I've got really good connections with his whole family. Cam and I have a really good relationship. We had a good one built during the recruiting process. Casey, I had a relationship with him and his mother due to one of our best players was being his one of his lifelong friends and teammates in Oklahoma City in high school. So it makes sense that Casey's going back home to Norman. He's from Oklahoma City. He's going back to Norman. And then obviously Cam Rising's in Utah, but he's a West Coaster from the Valley here in California. So I tried to bring both of them to Indy. This is why I didn't get them. And I think I would have got one or if not two. They entered and went to a school, right? They chose to go to a university and had to wait through the appeal process at that time with the NCAA. So the NCAA did not grant Cam Rising an appeal. So I'm like, Cam, come play with me JUCO 1 year, and you don't have to sit out. He chose to sit out at the 4-year level and learn the system and played at Utah the very next year. Wish you would have came and just played a year with us. That 18 year, we'd have probably been a lot better than going through 5 quarterbacks because I lost 4 different ones in injury. So he's in his 7th year. Casey Thompson's in his 7th year. Where are you at with this? And when is enough? I guess my question and is Casey gonna start at Oklahoma? I'm trying to figure this out because if he does, then Oklahoma didn't do a really good job in the recruiting process at quarterback. Casey's a good player. He was a good player. So is Cam. But I think 7 years in this business, that's 2 cycles of freshmen.
It's a lot.
That I hope, right? If I just went through 2 cycles.
That is wild.
Allen's in tune with all this. He said he might start. I'm bringing the pressure on that motherfucker every goddamn time. I mean, this cat's 27 years old. He's not 27, but I'm just saying he's got to be what? What are they, 24?
23, 20, in that range probably. I mean, listen, I'm going to bring it from another angle. What's the rush in going into the real world? Most players I know who have to transition, including myself, whether it was because of injury, whether it was because just you graduated or whatever the case may be, those first year is usually tough, just trying to figure out what you want to do, what the situation is. So, I mean, what's the rush? Even if this guy isn't going to the league, which it sounds like he probably ain't, maybe, I don't know. It sounds like he's not, you transferred 4 times, you ain't balling like that. So, what's the rush? You're getting paid probably good money, I'm assuming, at these big schools from NIL, more money than you might get at your first job out of college, because your first job out of college, you usually making like 50 stacks or something. You ain't really making no real money like that. So it's like, what's the rush when these guys are getting paid, 6-figure deals now to play the game that they love, a childhood game? I saw D. Jones said wasting time. I hear you. You could look at it that way. When I've looked at my life in a way of where I was like, you know what, I got injured. It was sad at the time, but in hindsight, I felt like it was a blessing because I got a chance to dive into my career and get where I'm at now. But everyone's situation is different. Everyone's story is different. So we all love the game. If you can play the game longer and get paid like good money, who am I to tell you to stop playing if they're allowing it? Be mad at the system for allowing it. Don't be mad at the player for maximizing his time spent there. What if he goes out here and balls the hell out of nowhere in his last year, and now he actually gets drafted in the 5th round or something? Well, we're going to be looking at like, that was a smart decision. It works. So, and in worst case scenario, it don't work. You're back home anyway. You know what I'm saying? Right down the street. Family can come to the game, I'm assuming, friends, things like that. And you end your career right at the crib. Like, I don't like the transferring 4 time part. I definitely don't like that because, like, bro, at some point you got to commit to something. You can't commit to anything right now. But the more I think about the 7 years, it's like, well, shit, if they're going to pay me and I get to play the game I love, why not?
I don't know. It sets a bad precedent, in my opinion, recruiting high school and junior college players that are 18, 19, 20. To me, you're even telling them we're going to go with this older kid, which will either stir a kid away, make him transfer. So now you've created more transfers with your younger quarterbacks who now at Oklahoma, I bet you there's a younger quarterback probably going to transfer. And then you've taken away a scholarship for someone else with a 25-year-old kid who probably has no opportunity in the NFL. I hope he does, but I just don't see a 25-year-old getting drafted at 26 years old who's been in 4 places. To me, it's just a reach. Like, we're reaching for something that's not there. And I just don't. At a certain time, dog, your corner has to say, look, man, like, you could be in the CFL. 25 should be – there's old – quarterback 25 in the CFL is old now. And you can go make $300,000-$400,000 as a quarterback in the CFL, American dollars, $300,000-$400,000 a year in the CFL to play quarterback.
Yeah, and you got the UFL now, the USFL and the XFL is combined, and it's gonna be a UFL this year. So there are other options that you could do. But I don't know. Like, maybe he just likes college. I don't know. It's not a bad. College is one of the best times of my life. I'll say that. Especially if you're on a full ride like I was. Everything's taken care of. Being a boy from the hood. I don't know this cat's background or story or his parents' money, but being a guy from the hood who grew up on food stamps and Section 8 type situations and kicked out, when you can go to college and have everything taken care of. And of course, there's certain things that I'm like, they should have been better at, of course. But I go in the morning, breakfast check. Lunch, I got my meal swipe, Chick-fil-A. We got Chick-fil-A right on camera. I give me a chicken sandwich, waffle fry, lemonade, boom. All right. Dinner. We got, dinner check, or you eat together with the team. I got my stir-fry meal. I got my chicken, my broccoli, my mashed potatoes, boom, free. If I'm still thirsty at night, I go down a little store, a little pop-up shop. Gatorade, chips, like all that for free. I got a nice little, nice crib. After my first 2 years, we moved off campus, had a badass 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, apartment, brand new, got the pool outside, summer parties, basketball court. You got all the good looking, Like, it's a lot. I'm saying it's a plus side to college. And then now you're getting paid bread.
Smitty, I got to be honest. College, the plus side to your point to college plus side is like, gives me like some pedo ass vibes.
Damn. You want to hold?
I'm at the dorm with a 18-year-old. Come on, man.
Why you keep saying 27? He's 22. He's 22, 23.
College and this fucking 26-year-old quarterback is in the dorm partying? I got a problem, homie. Real shit. Ty Bassett. He says you don't make shit in the CFL, less than 50K. No, you're a fucking idiot, and I don't know who told you that. So I got 2 players right now making over 300K, and I got a great friend who's been on the show, who's the head coach in Edmonton. What are you fucking talking about? Stop talking like you know shit. God damn. If you're a legit player, you can make 400K in the CFL, and it makes more than the XFL and the fucking other one, by the way. So less than 50K. Get out of here. The league minimum is 60K. All right.
Yeah, I mean, if I stay that long, I'm gonna make sure I'm maximizing myself though. Like, I'm gonna make sure I'm getting like my masters. I'm gonna make sure I'm getting everything I can out of NCAA. I'm getting as much NIL money as I can. I'm getting my bachelor's. I'm getting my master's. I'm making sure that once this shit is over, I've taken everything I possibly could take, because NCAA for so long has been taking everything from us players. So, make sure. I hope he's playing this thing smart at least, and he's not focused just on football, because there's so many benefits, and I could even argue more benefits outside of just the football part of it, that oftentimes us players, we're so focused on football that we don't even have a chance to explore everything else that college or university has to offer when it comes to career building and opportunities and resources and things like that. So I pray that anybody who's staying in college for 6, 7, 8 years, they're truly maximizing their full experience and connections and things of that nature to prepare themselves for life after football. Because at some point, football does end, whether it's right after this year, whether you go to CFL for a couple years, or even you go to NFL for a couple years. The average length of time in NFL was 2 to 3 years anyway. So you're not even there for a long time anyway. So regardless, you got to prepare yourself for a regular life.
I just wish I had a cat. I wish I could be in the corner of some of these dudes, because I'd be telling like Casey, like, look, dog, you're a household name to in your area, in your local area. Let's start coaching or something. Let's start doing something that you can start really growing. Because, dog, at 25, 26, here's the problem. We have so many cats that are playing until 26, 27, where back when these coaches, the Belichicks of the world and the Sabins and all these guys, they were GAing already at 22, 23 when their career was like, all right, I'm not going to make it. Let's get into GAing. And I got in as a GA, and I started coaching. These guys are going to be 30.
Yeah.
And then they're going to say, I want to coach. And I'm like, 30's too old, dog. You missed the window. Life is fast, homie. That's all I'm saying in this thing. Life goes like this, and you're going to be turning around like, fuck, I should have GA'd. Like, I look back and be like, I'm going to take the shot. I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to try to make a roster. I played in Europe in Arena League, and I did all the things. I got to get a paycheck playing the game. Now, it didn't set me up for life or give me generational wealth by any means, but retrospect, look back, fuck, if I would have went in G8, I'd be a D1 head coach right now. There's no doubt. I'd be a household name, Power 5 head coach, if not in the league, maybe. Who knows where my life would have been. But I look back and say, I don't look backwards. I'm not going to look back and regret anything. But I would tell kids, hey, man, this is about that age where you ain't going to be Tom Brady and you got an opportunity to go into the business. Go GA right now. Go coach right now. Do something if that's what you want to do. Coy Dang, shout out to Coy Allen. One of my former players went to Cal. I sent 2 JUCO players. This is the first, by the way. I sent a player to Cal, and I sent a player to Vanderbilt in the same season at Indy. If you know anything about anything, JUCO players don't go to Vanderbilt and Cal Berkeley. Sorry. It just has never happened in the history of junior college. In the same season, as 2 players went to such a prestigious universities where you have to have almost a 4.0 as a regular student coming out of high school, a little less JUCO. So Coy Dang went to Cal, got a shot, been with the Falcons and the Steelers the last 2 years, calls me up last week or before Christmas. Coach, can you help me like you did DJ? So DJ Williams is a former player of mine as well, who I got on with my boy Kalani Sitake at BYU. He GA'd for him for 2 years. So Kalani recommended him to Northern Arizona, where one of his coaches took the head job, and he hired DJ. DJ's the DB coach at a D1. And one of my former guys, Coy, hit me up and said, Coy's like, dog, I'm done, JB. I'm calling it up. I'm hanging up the cleats. I'm like, damn, you sure? You're young, blah, blah, blah. We had a conversation. I'm going to get Coy on the show. And he's like, yeah, JB, I'm done. I know when it is. And he's at that age right now. He's the 24, 25 range. Been in the league 2 years, 3 years, 3. And he's like, so I've already got him connected. He's had several interviews. I put him in place with several D1s. From NC State to Tulsa to Iowa to, a few different places. BYU's another one. I'm trying to get him there to replace DJ, who was there. So, he knows, though, but he's a super smart kid, knows about, what he wants to do with his life. This is what it's about. And he'd be a fucking hell of a coach. He was a freak of nature. He was on the team with Jermaine at Indy and all that. So, he'll be a hell of a coach. But he realizes it, and I think you have to have somebody in your circle to say, all right, look, man, you can keep chasing these dreams, practice squad or whatever. Remember, he was leading the Pac-12 in tackles for 2 years, by the way, at Cal. He got hurt his senior year, and I think it hurt his draft stock. And then there he is. So he's been afloat around for the last 3 years with the Steelers and the Falcons. And look, he's still a 1%er. Nobody in this chat is going to say they were with the Steelers and the Falcons for 2 years. So, but guess what? He's giving that dream up, Smitty, and he's like, I'm going to go into this business now. Because he knows if he waits 2 more years, he probably can't be. First of all, you can't be a GA because there's an age limit, plus how many years past your BA degree can you be a grad assistant. So he's going to miss that opportunity. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to weigh it out. I'm going to make an educated decision. Bam. But there's a reason he went to Cal fucking Berkeley. And he didn't go to fucking, Ball State. So anyway, let's get into it. I'm just fucking with you. All right. Dan Lanning says he is staying at Oregon. Says he got offered a job, as I thought he did. He says he's staying in Oregon. I'm going to try to get him on the show as well. He was on McAfee yesterday. I texted him. I tried to get him on the show. He made a little intro video coming back to a team meeting. I'm not leaving. Listen, shout out to him because he said that on a video, back when he was up for what was it? Michigan State, or I don't know what it was. He's like, I ain't leaving nowhere, blah, blah, blah. And he's staying. So I don't know if he got the job. I don't know, did he really turn it down? I don't know. They had to buy him out $20 million. I mean, you got to pay $20 million to get him.
Big bread.
Yeah, so is Bama willing to do that? I don't know what the deal was. I'm hearing Sark's name back in the mix. I don't know. I'm not gonna say shit anymore.
He's I ain't saying nothing. I'm just gonna wait it out.
Like, I'm not gonna say it, but like, it can't get any higher, and the motherfucker didn't happen. So shit happens in this profession. That's why I love when the people on Twitter and wrong. This didn't age well. I'm waiting for your fucking. Where's your fucking storyline at, motherfucker? Where's you coming out on a limb saying, where's your sources coming? Like, give us your fucking take. Anyway, their buyouts are crazy. The money's crazy. It's unbelievable. I'm excited to see what he does at Georgia. At Oregon. Continue there in a new division and in the conference and all that. So we'll see. Because remember, he's got unfinished business. He's 0-3 versus Washington in the top 10, 2 times this year, 1 time last year. So he's got to beat those guys and be the king of one conference before you can go be the king of the nation, in my opinion. And I think he's close. I think he had to rebuild that program, just like DeBoer has had to do at Washington. So both of those coaches, I would love for them to stay and battle each other in the Big Ten. But at the same time, somebody's going to take this job, and I'm just curious on when that is, who that is, and we're going to see who it is. But we'll dive into that in a minute when we talk about our top 5 candidates for the Bama job. If it doesn't happen during this show, because I'm hearing it could happen as early as this morning, because I heard they gave them a 48 to 72 hour window. Because if they don't, Big Smitty, you don't understand. There's cats entering the portal like crazy. And people trying to scoop up their players as well, but we'll suspend and fine and go after Florida State. But everything else, it's okay to go after our players sitting in the portal or at Alabama with no coach. That's totally moral. That's totally good morals and great character, right? NCAA. But in your actual mission statement for the NCAA, we want a good character, stand for high morals and integrity. Really? So you're allowing coaches and teams to poach their players without a coach. That's integrity and good character, huh? Hypocrisy at its finest is unfucking believable. But only the realest coach on planet Earth and the coach's show, Coach AB's show, will tell you that. Georgia in the news again. We've had Jalen Carter situation, unfortunate situation with driving under the influence, or somebody was, not him, maybe a death occurred driving fast. We've had another Georgia player get DUI. We've had another issue with a staffer. Now they're saying more staffers are routinely driving home after drinking. Listen, I think every staff in America drives home after drinking. So I hope we put every fucking team on there. This is a normal thing. Right. It doesn't say they're driving home fucking like, I don't know if that's what they mean. Now, listen, I'm not condoning driving and drinking and driving at all, period, especially at a fucking college coach, D1. There's been scenarios where the good friend of mine, Dennis Erickson's been pulled over. And DUI, he was the head coach for the Seahawks, head coach for the Niners, head coach of Miami. It's got to be a big embarrassment. But at the same time, Kirby, I know he preaches it all day long, but you got to get those young coaches under control and say, listen, motherfucker, you are going to get me on national news headlines, and I'm going to fire your ass, and you'll be blackballed. Better stop drinking and driving. We've had a death with one of our players who is in the NFL now, a big-time player. Like, when is enough enough? And that's just what has to happen, in my opinion. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's that serious, but.
No, I mean, it's still serious because it just keeps happening. And, like, I feel like Kirby has came out in the past, I'm not sure, and spoken out about it, about they're trying to put an effort towards it. And changing it, but it just keeps happening, whether it's staff, whether it's players. And if the staff is doing it, damn well the player's going to do it. Because how can a coach come to me and be like, hey, Darnell, you need to stop speeding and doing this and that? Well, hey, coach, you did the same thing last week. Like, you kind of lose your validity as a head coach, and at least in that category, because you're doing the same thing that you're telling me not to do. I think there's a higher standard as a coach especially at that level, that you just you're not gonna be perfect. I get that, but there's certain things that you got to keep under wraps. You can't be out there just drinking and driving, doing all that, because that just takes away all validity. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not calling people evil people and all like that, because let's be real. Most of us in this chat has drink and drive. I'm not saying sloppy drunk, but most people have like had a couple drinks earlier, you know, at dinner, at happy hour, and was like, I'm good. And you probably were good. But technically speaking, you shouldn't have been driving. So, like, that's my point. Like, I don't want to be a hypocrite and act like I've never done it ever before. But I've never been on some like, oh, I can't. I'm fucked up. I've never done something stupid like that. But we've all, for the most part, have had a couple drinks, you know what I'm saying, and drove, and you're not supposed to do that, period. So, but Georgia has to figure it out. You know, at the end of the day, Georgia has to get it figured out. It's when something continues to happen, that's the definition of an actual problem. It's a repeated action that continues to go on and go on and go on. And you don't want it to, end up being even another situation where someone does get killed or something like that, because that's what it can lead to. And you don't want to wait for that to happen. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Damn, Ron. I'm glad you're here to talk about it.
What?
Ron said, I'll admit, I was driven pissed drunk. It ain't funny, but it is. But I don't know why. Like, I'm just imagining Ron. I don't know how Ron sounds, but like knowing Ron's picture and all that, like just hearing him say that, that sounds like a Ron statement. I'm not gonna lie, I've driven pissed drunk. I've been pissed drunk, JB and Smitty.
I hit a deer and I got out. I cut him and I said, "Oh, that's 1997. That's a fucking 97 deer." These motherfuckers know when they're born and shit by tasting their blood and shit.
Yeah, he cut his fingers up. Oh yeah, he's born in fucking 1982. Oklahoma deer right there.
That's old deer too. That's bad blood. That's bad meat. All right, Mel Tucker loses court case. Appeal denied. Unfortunate, my boy. I don't know what my boy's going through right now. I know for a fact with the alleged female that this whole thing's about, I know is not a good human, not a good woman. And I'm saying that on record. That's fact from my relationship with her. So that's not alleged. Whatever y'all want to say, go ahead. I know for a fact what the deal is with her. Now, I don't know for a fact what the deal is with him and her. So all I'm saying is I know what she's about, what she stands for, and I've known him a long time, and I've known him to be holler at the business. So I know Mel, but he's just like any other man. I've never known him to be aggressive, though. So I'm trying to see why this appeal was denied. I don't know why. But we're going to see, Big Smitty. We're going to see how it ends up. I don't know if he's going to get another job. Is he blackballed? I guess is the biggest question to you from me.
He might be on our show next later this year. Next college football season, we might have there might be the Coach JB show with Big Smitty and Mel Tucker. And we have him on here and he's talking that talk, bringing that college football flavor and that real, and he can share his own story. You know, obviously, you know, if the allegations aren't true, and we were not there, so I don't know. Well, if the allegations weren't true, I want that man to still be able to coach. Don't end this man's entire career over something that didn't really happen, or something that's being overblown, and you're making it seem like it's bigger than what it was. When in reality, you were in on. You liked it and was in on the conversation and in on all this. You know what I'm saying? Like if he did that shit, punish him. You know, if he didn't do it, let's continue to allow this man to coach. Don't mess his career up. We see it too many times. Who's the punter for the Bills? Matt Araiza or whatever. You know, all the charges.
Yeah, he's done. He's done.
He's done.
He's done. So D Jones, you say some dumb shit. So Kareem Hunt, isn't he playing? I think he hit a white bitch. Did he not? Oh, did Tyreek Hill hit a white bitch? Oh, so why? Quit saying dumb shit. It don't matter what color it is, motherfucker. You hit a woman or assault a woman, I don't give a fuck what color you are. So what's up with Kareem Hunt and them still getting an opportunity to play? I don't see D Jones mad about that, motherfucker. See, you motherfuckers don't keep it real, homie. That's the problem with y'all. You all look for a color to side with. It ain't about, I keep it real. I don't give a fuck what color you are. You don't want to keep it real, D Jones. If Sunshine went and hit a girl tomorrow, your famous quarterback down there in Duval, what you gonna say? What you gonna say? What you gonna say, homie?
Time out, JB. One of my favorite things about this show and about what you do is you'll say something and then you'll pause and then you do that little laugh. No, that laugh is your laugh. Like that laugh, that version of it. That's yours.
I've always had
and
the laugh.
I love when you do that.
Your laugh is my laugh too.
Nah, my laugh is my laugh, and you took it, and it's cool. You can rent it out. I don't mind that.
D Jones I may have taken D Jones wrong. He said he never said that, but he did say that it's a black man and a white woman. But it goes both ways, dog. It goes both ways. I've seen black men hit white women and still play. So that's my point. Can't say that and not say the other. Can't say Kareem Hunt ain't on film hitting a white girl like hard. Come on, man. Miss me with the bullshit. The Bucks smoked the Celtics by 40, Smitty. What you got to say about that?
Well, I don't know if you guys watched the game, but when second half started, head coach, he benched his entire starting lineup for the rest of the game. Like the second half started, he had 5 respects. Nobody's in the game. And he said, fuck it, I'm rolling with my bench. Since the stars don't want to come out here. The Celtics. The second half, the starters did not play second half because they were down like 30 at halftime. So like the starters came out there playing fucking sluggish, not trying to play for real. So head coach was like, all right, fuck it. Y'all won't feel like playing, y'all won't play. And he put the backups in the whole second half. I think this is a move that Coach JB would actually appreciate and like. Because I feel like it's something you would do.
I like that coach a little. I kind of like the coach, but he gives me like a try too hard vibe.
Yeah, he does. He does at times. His speeches are kind of weird at times, but I mean, I'd rather you try too hard and not enough. So I mean, hey, I think it was a good move. You ain't come ready to play. You on the sideline. You've benched some of your stars before and probably lost some games, but you stood by it because you knew it was a bigger picture. So I
won the game though. Even a bigger statement when you win and do it. All right, Smitty, let's dive. I'm going to jump our top 5 candidates to take the Bama job, and I'm going to go to this one, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll get back and finish all that before Jeff jumps on at 8 o'clock with us. But I want to dive into – let's skip the top 5 candidates for the Bama job, and we'll go straight to the Trailblazers losing by 60 in multiple games this year, by the way. Multiple games they've lost. Yeah, they've lost by multiple games this year by 60. Now, I'm about to rip a new asshole in this motherfucker. So go ahead and you start this off. You defended your boy, Chauncey Billups, which I'm on record. Well, I'm not going to say nothing. Go ahead. Give me your take on Chauncey Billups. And remember, this is a guy who lost Dame Lillard. This is a guy who couldn't keep him there. Knowing he's going to get the job. But couldn't keep him. And now you're getting beat like this. Now, hold on. I've eviscerated before Steve Nash for getting the job. Why did Steve Nash get the job? Why did you hire Chauncey Billups, who's never fucking coached? I'm tired of seeing this shit, and I'm tired of fucking seeing the same dumb shit because he's a name. We're hiring him. Did y'all not learn from Steve Nash? Did y'all not learn from Kurt Rambis? Did y'all not learn from these fucking guys who have never coached a fucking play in the NBA? And I'm gonna leave it to Smitty on this. Great players are horrific fucking coaches. Period. Show me one good fucking player that is a great or good coach. How's Juwan Howard looking up there in Michigan, B-Case?
Jason Kidd.
And he's a guy, guess what? Started as an assistant and earned and worked and grinded, and he wanted to coach. These guys are getting head jobs without doing any of that shit. Like, you're giving this dude a head coaching job, Smitty, and allowing him to manage the roster without ever doing it before. I'm like, by the way, Chauncey Billups was the 4th coach on the end of a bench. Cruiser Namiana. So let's just be real. Do you think he was dealing with fucking financials? Do you think he was dealing with fucking drafting? No. Guess what he got? He got a GM role in Detroit. Dog, we anointing dudes that have never played. Luke Walton gets a job. Fucking horrific. He goes undefeated. He has one of the best runs ever as a fill-in for an injured Kerr during that season. And guess what? Players made him look pretty fucking good. Huh? I don't think Luke Walton was out there like fucking and winning again. What they win, like 40 in a row or some shit? Like, come on.
Like 24-1 or some shit, yeah.
Owners are lazy, and we refuse to turn over rocks to find the right fit for our organization. You should never hire another fucking player that hasn't coached. Let me be clear. A player that has yet to be a coach ever again. The Steve Nashes and the Chauncey Billups should have proved it by now. Big Smitty. We almost like castrated Sean Payton for giving up 70. And this guy won a Super Bowl. I want to see the same energy as y'all say for Chauncey Billups, who's lost by 60 points in an NBA game. Not once, twice. How do you lose by 60? Are they playing with fucking CBA players? What is going on, homie? Keep it 100. Give me your shit. Tell me, take it over. You can't defend this shit. You know I'm giving too many angles. Go ahead, though. I want to hear it.
I plead the fifth.
This shit is fucking believable.
I fuck with Chauncey, man. Good dude, champion, leader, big shot big shot Billups, whatever, you know what I mean? Detroit, tough, gritty, grew up in that era, you know what I'm saying? I just multiple 60-point losses is hard to do. Like if I go coach, I don't know if I can do that. Just go out there and play. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I tell my player, just go out there and play hard, I think you will lose by like
time at him. Maybe you just yell one time when you're down 20, motherfucker. I don't think you're gonna lose by 40 more.
Like, I can't do that on a video game. I've never lost by 60 on 2K. I never beat somebody by 60 on 60. All right, cool. If it happens once, all right, maybe it was just some weird shit went down. But it happened multiple times in the same season. I know the team young. I know they lost Dame. I know they lost TJ McCollum a couple years ago. So they're in the rebuild stage. And he kind of was given a team that it was a tough time that he joined the team. Dame was hurt and wanting out. You know, like he kind of took the team in a rebuilding stage anyway. But so I don't mind you being bad. The Spurs are bad. Even with Victor Wembanyama getting good numbers, the Spurs are real bad. And they got Greg Popovich, who's a legend. But losing by 60 specifically, if he had 20, lost by 20, lost by 15, lost by 25, lost by 30, cool. But when you lose by 60 multiple times, that's the issue.
That's like 20-0 in baseball.
Yeah. It's like, that's how bad it is.
Just admit that I just want people to start saying we made a horrific hire with Steve Nash, with Chauncey Billups. Like, why do players want to get out of those situations as well? Like, I would love to know why KD, Kyrie, James, all them motherfuckers was like, I can't play for this motherfucker. He's horrible. Like, because we all seen the leaks. We saw the leaks and the messages and shit, but I would love to know why y'all can't play for this dude who was a baller, legendary Steve Nash, but you didn't want to play for him. After a certain amount of time was like, this motherfucker, either I'm just paraphrasing, either like, motherfucker garbage. He don't know what he's doing. We ain't buying into what he's saying in the locker room. Chauncey's same way. It's like I'm not sold on the guy, and I always I've been against Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham wasn't a great player. I love Darvin Ham as a player, by the way. The nasty, gritty, could jump out the gym, bang on you, get the rebound. But he was an assistant in Milwaukee and other places. What made it to where he was the head coach of the Lakers? Like, I'm trying to figure out how he just, Where did he come from to be the head coach of the fucking Lakers? And I'm just like,
they want to go young, JB. They want to go different. They didn't want to go and one of these recyclable coaches. They've already tried that.
I hear you.
Dan Tony and all these. We've tried that. They want to say, you know what? Let's go somewhere else. Let's go young. Let's try it. Switch it up.
I hear that. I'm not mad at it. I'm just asking a question. When did he jump over all these other motherfuckers? There's some pretty good young coaches out there. Look at old boy that fucked on Nia Long. He a hell of a coach. Look at his little assistant that's there right now in Boston. Like, this motherfucker was no one, and he's actually just like exactly like old boy that was fucking Nia Long's girls. Like, that guy is the same guy, ain't he? Don't you get the same vibe from the current coach? And same skin tone, same vibe, same demeanor.
Udoka ain't no try hard. Udoka really like put hands on you. You know what I mean? Udoka called Bron. You know what he called him?
I know. Udoka right here from the hood, by the way. I know where he's from.
All right then. So that's what I'm saying.
Another LA West Coast. What I'm saying is,
I ain't scared to know. I'm very good out here.
But the other cat is the same. No, he be getting in their ass.
Pause. No,
I don't see him getting tested by their players. I ain't seen nobody really like.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Nah, he's definitely respected. Nah, he's a good coach. But at the time that we hired Buddy, Udoka wasn't available. Like, we didn't know much about this young cat. You know,
I just think there's guys like that out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I'm not saying jump him over. You know, Darvin Ham hasn't paid his dues. He was an assistant.
Yeah, for a long time.
I'm just asking a question like, was he the guy to go to the Lakers? Like, this isn't the Bucks. No offense to them or the Suns who've never won one, or the Clippers. This is the Lakers. The fucking.
But if that's the case, who else would you hire? Fucking Popovich, old ass. I mean, like if it's. Well, you're talking as if like it has to be a big ass name. Who's a big name backup coach?
I would have went after. Here's what I would have went after. Now, my word don't mean shit. I would have went after one of the Van Gundys. I would have went after old boy that's in New York right now for the Knicks, because I've always thought he's a hell of a defensive coach.
The Gundys ain't coached in years though, JB. The Gundys they've been talking about.
I understand. I would have went after somebody. I would have went after. See, I thought we shorthanded Mike Brown, because Mike Brown, when he took the job, was a hell of. I think he took it right when LeBron got there or something. Or was it at the end of Kobe? I forgot. But
it was Kobe. It was Kobe time.
His defenses were like top 5. He was on his way, but they had a horrible roster. And now look what he's doing in Sacramento. So
right,
I think we shortchanged him.
We ain't gonna bring him back though, because his tenure wasn't good. It wouldn't even make sense to bring him back. You don't look in the rearview mirror.
No, I know. Mark Jackson got blackballed some way. I don't know what's going on with him. Cameron and Mace now have thrown him a bag to be on Hair Show. I don't know what's going on with Mark Jackson. There's other guys out there. What about the white boy that's Kerr's right-hand man, who's been there forever? I want to know why he hasn't got a shot at something. Like, usually you see all these assistants.
We need a brother in L.A. We need a brother in L.A., JB, so that's what it is.
Tell Phil Jackson that. Let's go.
Phil ain't coaching no more, JB. He ain't coaching no more. You know I love Phil.
Who do you start an NFL franchise with? We're going to break that down and debate it right after we get back for this commercial. We're going to dive into the 5 candidates to watch out for the Bama job. And we're going to have some JB, Smitty, and Big Jeff Nadu's picks of the weekend. We're going to have a wild card picks. We're going to break down the line with Jeff. We're going to get some betting in. And we got a lot of shit. We got some real talk jaw jacking. We got some white people shit, some Mexican people shit. Got some Mexican people shit.
It's my favorite.
We got some what is it shit.
Interesting. That's a new segment, huh?
New segment. You know what it is? You got to decide, is it white people shit or black people shit?
Oh, okay. I like that. I like that one. What is this?
But here's some Mexican people shit for Hector and Lucy before we take a break.
And yes, it's the same. But this one was like, hey, I'll give you 2 for 15. You know what? I said, boom, give them to me. At the end of the day, we buy more expensive stuff inside the stadium. We support them. Why not support the street vendors, man? They're out here.
Hell no, bro. He rolled this shit up on a sidewalk. Shit stains, piss, dirt. Man, take us the break, man. Take us the break.
I think everything going on with Zach this year, I've had dogs my whole life. My first dog that I really, really had was a golden retriever when I was in 9th or 10th grade. And that dog I had till I was like 30. So I just became a big golden retriever pet owner just because, you know, everybody gets into a certain breed or a certain kind of dog. And for me, having kids and things like that, they just kind of became family members. And so I've had them for, you know, over 30 or 40 years now. And I've always done more than one. I see you have a couple yourself. I just think it's cool when they have a companion, you know, and so I think it helps them out and it keeps them, you know, their spirit up. And so, yeah, I've always been a dog person. This year, I just decided to take Ben out with me, not for the intention of social media or anything like that, but just kind of having my guy with me. And I did it the first time out to Seattle for Oregon, Washington. And these NFL stadiums on Thursday nights, it's funny. I took him on a Thursday night with me because I do the whole week. I leave on Wednesday. I leave today, and then I'm gone till Sunday. So I took him to Thursday, and I brought him into our meeting, a big production meeting in this hotel. And Al Michaels was kind of not a bit, I could tell right away he wasn't a big dog guy. And so Ben just kind of walks around. And when he got over to Al to say hi, Al was just kind of like, so I kind of sensed that, but Al didn't say anything. So I went over and I got him, brought Ben back over. And then after that, the next week, I was like, where's Ben? And I was like, I just thought you didn't want him in the meeting. And he goes, oh, you kidding me? You need to go get him. So I went back up to the room, brought him down. And so from that point on, Al is more intrigued by Ben than anybody. And you know how dogs are, right? Like their personality, they just kind of get around people and kind of do it in their own way. So Al's come full circle on hanging out with him. And so, yeah, I did it that first time. And I just realized how much he impacts everybody that he came in contact with and just started bringing him every single week from that point.
If I took Lamar out of Baltimore, I think Lamar is still a playoff team with that defense. I think Baltimore is a playoff team with that defense and the running game without Lamar. If I took Matthew Stafford out of LA, that team is a 2-win team.
I agree with that.
They are possibly on a run and a collision course to playing in the Super Bowl.
We're reaching on that.
Putting on the record right now that the Rams are a team that no one wants to play. By the way, the Rams beat who? The Browns, who beat the Ravens. The Rams should have beat Baltimore in Baltimore. They got jobbed on a punt block in the back. Or they beat Baltimore, by the way, and have won 7 in a row if they beat that Baltimore team, by the way, that no one's talking about how good this Rams team's playing. Matthew Stafford is the hands-down best quarterback in the NFL. Let's just be honest. It's not even close. Now, if you know quarterback in football, if you say that someone else is out there throwing the football better than Matthew Stafford, then you're just blind.
Josh Allen, I can argue, is all I'm saying.
Josh has had a lot of up and down. He's more up and down than the Dow Jones, Mike Cal would say.
Most turnovers in football. I love Josh Allen and all that. He has the most turnovers in football, which leads to early exits in playoffs.
But, Coach, look, I'm with you about Stafford. He is conducting surgery, the stuff he's doing at the top of the pocket. But, again, today's game, there's a lot of quarterbacks where it is a +1. The legs and your ability to move the chains with the run game, and you're threatening the run game, threatening the mesh point.
Not on that Ram team, though.
I'm with you, but again, I don't penalize Baltimore and LJax for it.
Bingo.
They're blowing teams out, Coach. They're straight. I'm just telling you, their margin of victory.
Not the best team. I'm not saying they're not the best team.
All right, but I'm just saying, anytime if you're a quarterback and you're leading a franchise to over 12 wins and 13 and maybe 14. I mean, it is, and statistically, you're really good and you're making plays. I just telling you, if I had a vote, which I don't, I would vote LJax 8.
This man, just throughout your career, people always say the safety is like the quarterback of the defense. I got to ask you, who was the toughest quarterback that you face week to week? You know what I'm saying? In terms of just like, all right, or each year, I know when I play against this guy, I got to be like 125% locked in because it's going to be a mental battle between myself and this quarterback. Who you say that guy is?
Yeah. Peyton was the funnest, the most challenging, and made defenses evolve, right? Like I came in, we beat them in the playoffs 07, 08, before they ended up winning their Super Bowl. And we had to change the way we played defensively to counter the audibles and the check with me's and the no huddles that he did. So we would go in the huddle with 2 calls. We would go in.
You got to get peanut butter cookie, dip it in coffee. Fire. I'm getting my Smitties on. I'm about to be eating on the show and shit. No professionalism. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to do it too. Dip the cookie in coffee. Fire. Real shit. I love that. I would love just one opportunity to show. Give me a D1 job with resources and facilities. Holy shit. Never had it. I've never had it. Don't you hate that shit? I've never had a facilities, resources, or any of that. Damn, never had it. We go live on Instagram for everybody. We got a lot going on, man. We live on Instagram again. It is Free Game Friday. I'm going to break down the top 5 candidates to replace Nick Saban in Alabama. I'm going to break it down. I never had facilities or resources, Sean. Never had facilities or resources. I've always had to build the facilities. I've always had to create the resource. I've never had walked into a ready-made program. So I wish I could just have one time. Give me 1 year with a facility and resources. Shit. Imagine that. It'd be Rap City. Coach Chef JB style this weekend. I don't know what I'm going to cook. I'm going to cook something. I'm going to get down this weekend. I might smoke me a couple games this weekend. I'm not going to get the Peacock, though. I'm really debating. I don't want to get the Peacock. I don't want to. I steal from the rich and hang with the poor, man. I got to stand with my people, my boys, the hood, the broke motherfuckers. I can't give in to Peacock. I can't do it. To watch the Chief Queendom play, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know.
It's the playoffs though, JB. That's the thing. I hear you. It's tough. I don't want to pay for it, but I might go somewhere like a bar that already has it. That's how I get around.
What I'm hearing is bars ain't so you know how this shit works. It's just like getting a pay-per-view fight.
Yeah.
Bars don't get pay-per-view fights for one reason. You know why, right? They charge bars and shit like that 10 to 50 grand to get the fight. You don't know that?
Nah, because I can't. Well, I'm not saying the pricing part is wrong, but I'm saying I've this year often have went to bars to have shown like some of the big boxing fights.
And that's what I'm telling you. They probably charged They charge you to get in because they have to cover the fee that they were charged, and they charge 10 to 50K depending on the location of what it is. The big boys won't even get fights. You won't really see the fights at like what's that downtown live area? What's the big bar?
LA Live,
the brewery. What's the big tall
Tom's?
Huh?
You talking about Tom's?
Nah, the big famous one that has the big beers and shit. We went there. We met there.
You want Yard House?
Yeah, Yard House. Yard House won't get fights and shit because they'll charge them $100K.
Yeah, they're right there.
Because the more people, the more they'll charge you. So the bigger the place, the more. So that you know that's why if you go to a fight, motherfuckers charging you $15 an entry fee or 5 or 10 or whatever. So that's why people don't do the fights like that. That's why a lot of people don't go do that. But Mo Garrett, appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Mo. We need that, man. We down like $2,000 right now.
Like 20-something hundred. They've hit us for by missing just a week. Hey Mo, appreciate you though. I'm gonna go get that Peacock game now. All right, so let's get this top 5 candidates. Before we get to top 5 candidates, I went back to the Mexican people shit video, and that motherfucker was if you watched it and listened to it, they wasn't tripping on him on the ground with the food though.
Yeah, they were cool with it. He said, I'm supporting my people.
I think that they were just like, we got to support the vendors. The motherfuckers rolling a burrito on the ground. And
yes, it's the same. But this one was like, hey, I'll give you 2 for 15. You know what? I said, boom, give them to me. At the end of the day, we buy more expensive stuff inside the stadium. We support them. Why not support the street vendors, man? They're out here.
On the fact that motherfucker rolled that shit on the ground.
Dirty hands, dirty ass, shitty, stinky sidewalk with bottom of Jordans been stepping on it, Nike prints, all type of stuff. If you want to give them
spit dip all over there,
spit. Oh my god, shit. I get the chills. That's so nasty. I got the chills. You want to support them? Buy that man a stand or something to actually roll it up on. Don't eat the food and get yourself sick. That's how new diseases are made.
We got 2 videos. I want a new segment. True or false?
Oh, true or false. Okay, you switched it up again. Okay.
It could be hell yeah or hell no, but it's true or false really on these videos.
All right.
Basically, I want to know, are they accurate or are they not accurate? And that's what I want to know. What do you call it? Cap or no cap?
Yeah, cap or fact.
All right, well, cap or fact. All right. Dr. Mendoza in the house. Cap or fact? This is how white people talk and versus how black people talk.
Johnny, let's show them what you can do. I believe in you. Woohoo! Go Cougars! Yes, sir! Hey, Latrell, I ain't drove all the way out here for you to be on some bullshit. Come on now. Show me some. Come on, son. That's your shot right there. We work on that all the time. Catch the ball, knock it down just like we do at home, just like practice. Come on. Shoot the goddamn ball, boy. We work on that shit all the damn time. At home, you want to shoot from the back of the neighborhood to the front of the neighborhood. But you get put in the game and you scared to shoot a mid-range jumper? Shoot the ball. Come on, ref. You didn't see that? The contact? Not even a little bit? Come on, ref. He didn't even touch the ball. Hey, it's all right, Johnny. They're not calling it this game. Be tough, adjust, and play through it. It's all right. Play tough. Hey, come on, ref. You got to call that shit. This ain't football. You going to get somebody hurt out there. He can't grab him like that. That's some bullshit. Come on. Okay, son, you see how they want to play? They ain't calling fouls. Okay, next time big boy go to the rim, play soccer with that boy. Mm-hmm.
Now the last one was 100%. I'm gonna say fact. The last one was the best one. The last one was literally I've heard that. That's a fact. I grew up hooping, in my township. Basketball teams and parents they really get into it. They really get invested into it.
I've never sounded like the first one.
Well, you're an outlier, JB. Like you white for sure. You still white. That don't change. But you just grew up in a different lifestyle than a lot of other white people have. So
here's one right here, man. This dude right here, if you've never listened to him, he's unbelievable. Married to a sister, by the way. So just giving y'all a little context. Cap or fact? Take a listen to this motherfucker right here.
Reason to hate each other, just different. Black people and white people, we smoke weed different. White folks take a hit, pass it on. My brother hold on to that shit till Tuesday. We got a different approach to the designated driver rule. White folks will pick a designated driver. He don't drink. He's gonna make sure everybody gets home okay. Black people, designated driver is the motherfucker that owns the car. When we go to a hotel, white folks check out. Black folks leave. When we're in a restaurant, white folks pay the bill, leave a tip, go home. Black people gotta discuss the check. What's this gratuity? Nobody ordered gratuity. Fuck that. White folks mad at Tiger Woods because he had all those affairs. Black people mad at Tiger Woods because he let a white woman beat the shit out of him. Black people always threatening to kill their children. White folks actually do. And you might have noticed, white folks went crazy about Mike Vick, the quarterback. Oh yeah, white folks hate him worse than OJ. Because white folks, we do understand killing your wife. But
don't fuck with the dog. And it's funny because JB's made a comment the other day about his dog, and he was like, yeah, I care about my dog more than I care about others. Like y'all really, white folks, first of all, facts on everything you said. That's 100% fact. That was hilarious. It was spot on. The best jokes have a truth in them. That's why I love that. But white people, y'all really love y'all dogs more than y'all love human beings. I've never met nobody like that's a true fact. Y'all do not fuck with humans, but y'all love dogs.
I'll be honest. Like, so I've grown because back in the day, like when I was growing up struggling and in Compton and I had dogs. Oh, he's sick. He got parvo. Put him down. He gonna be with you a few days, son. I'm like, no, we can't take him to the doctor. Nah, we got that money. That was real shit. I've had dogs like, damn. Nowadays, I got the bread enough to where I'm taking care of my motherfucker. I ain't gonna let him die. That's because I went through it. I think white folks they'll spend 20 racks on a fucking poodle to keep that motherfucker alive.
Right. Nah, they will.
A brother. Hey, motherfucker, go get that. We got another puppy on Craigslist.
Yeah, I mean, like, brothers will be sad still a little bit, but it's like we're not about to spend our rent money to take care of this dog. I got real kids. Like y'all be spending, y'all will fucking miss the mortgage to take care of this dog.
Karen, we can't eat this weekend because we got to take care of fucking Bailey.
Like, what the, like, and y'all will really do that. Y'all will sacrifice food and life and kids to take care of a damn dog. I just don't understand it. And I'm not anti-dog. I'm just pro-human. So that's all I'm saying.
Hey, Lucy said, my dog is my child. Lucy got two kids. Lucy got 2 kids in college, and that she just went straight over to and said, my dog is my child. Fuck my kids in college.
Fuck my kids. That's just, look, y'all be in bed with y'all dog, kiss them in the mouth.
I can't do it.
Kissing them and shit. You sleeping with them and cuddling with them. I'm like, damn. Like, listen, dogs are cool. They cool. But like, they not, you can't put like, come on. There's a chain. Like, the humans is up here, baby. We can't put the dog but the humans.
Hey, you know the cool part is, though?
What?
Y'all also will buy, Chris came in the chat. Black Chris,
I ain't saying, hold on, like the cheerleading coach, Chris?
Yeah, the black lady, Chris. I'm making sure I say black woman twice. She just said, y'all buy weed and shit over rent, too.
Hold on, we'll sacrifice the rent on weed. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. I can't experience it. I know experience it. I know black folks who buying weed, of course, my whole life. But I've never personally know somebody who sacrificed the actual literal $1,500 whatever rent costs on weed. That's all I'm saying.
Really? Your hood in Indy must be way different than our hood.
It might be. It must be.
I got homies that bought the Jordans that you got to get on the day they release, which is rent due day. And they're like, they not going to boo me out this month. You know, they're not going to boo me really. Like, come on, homie. You know that guy. Stop fucking playing. You know that guy.
I will say this. I know a lot of people that, like, you mentioned the rent, and I know this part firsthand. We will fucking wait until the day is due and go to the fucking front office or whatever and try to beg and fight and claw to get an extension to next week. I'm gonna have it. I got the 200 now. I had a rest. It's like, what? That ain't how it works, baby girl. This shit
my homies is like, I got, by law, motherfuckers break out the law. By law, I got 30 days and motherfucker really can't evict me. black people shit.
That's black people shit.
I'm just telling you. That's real shit.
Hey, shout out to Chris. I ain't seen Chris all year long, literally.
I know.
So
like half the year of the last year.
That's why you said black Chris. I had to like look to see. Yeah, that's her. Got her hair done. Okay, Chris. All right.
Oh, Chris changed it up.
Yeah, look, she got a whole little. Okay, you better stop. All right, Chris. You better stop playing, Chris.
So what? He married?
I'm just saying. I'm being married.
All right. Let me dive into this real quick. I got real talk or jaw jacking. Charles Barkley last night went kind of in on this. I want to know what you think. Real talk or jaw jacking?
The Lakers in trouble. The Lakers in serious trouble.
I was going to ask your level of concern.
Go ahead, Kenny. I'll let you answer.
Nope, they're not. 19-20 now.
I said this the same time. I think we were.
You just said Shaq's point.
They're not. The same conversation I had last year this time. And they made a couple of moves, obviously, through trade. But the Lakers don't play with the same vigor in the regular seasons as they do in March and April. They wait and think they could turn it on, just like they said, oh, we could turn it on and win the in-season tournament. They did. They believe that they could do that. I don't think LeBron James plays with the same – I don't think at this stage he could even stay with the same mental fortitude for 82 games that a guy's in his third year in the league or fourth year in the league is trying to do what he's
I don't think that's true, though. I think it's whatever you call it, cap. I'm going to say it's jaw jacking. Because, dog, at some point, you have to start – because then the excuse will be we could have beat Denver if we'd have gelled a little sooner. Remember, that was the whole thing last year. Well, fuck.
Yeah.
So how you going to do it if you're not gelling by now? Well, I mean, it is still early. I'm going to be clear. It is still early. Like, I'm not even totally out on the Golden State Warriors yet. I'm not even totally out on them. I think they're still there because of the championship DNA and everything else. I don't put it against them. I don't put it against the Lakers either, just because I don't know how good the fucking teams are anymore, man. It's hard to gauge these motherfuckers. Celtics, everybody said, is the best. They get beat by 40 last night. The Bucks can't beat the Pacers. Like, it's just, to me, it's like, I don't know how good any of these teams are. Teams getting beat by 60. I just don't know how good these teams are, dog. And I wouldn't be shocked if the Lakers or the Warriors figured it out and still made a run. I'm sure they're going to make some trades, though.
Yeah, I mean, if the Lakers don't make trades, it's a wrap. You know, I do, because I'm gonna say facts in the sense that I do believe LeBron specifically will kind of turn it on and turn it off when he feels like he truly needs to. Because he's what, just turned 39 a couple weeks ago. The man cannot play a full 82 game season full go. He just can't. It doesn't make sense. So he has to pick and choose when to turn on, when to turn off. But even with that being said, the others, as Shaq likes to call them, are not playing well either, are role players. So I think that there has to be a major trade in order for the Lakers to be true contenders. Golden State, I don't know, man. I just feel like they're just not good no more. Steph is good, and that's it. I saw a post yesterday from, I think, Sham Charania, the NBA kind of insider or whatever, saying that everybody is available basically outside of Steph, meaning that they're open to anything in the trade market right now outside of Steph. Everybody. That includes Clay, Draymond, and just being real, taking your emotions out of it. Yeah, you do need to consider trading those guys. Now, I don't know who wants them and what you would get in return at this point in their career. But yeah, as much as I'm sure Warriors fans would love to see Clay and Dre and Steph all retire together, whatever, it sounds cute. But you keeping them and keeping that core, to me, is basically saying I'm okay with no longer competing for championships the rest of their career.
Hey, everybody in the chat they want you to repeat the name of the source.
I think it's Sham Charania. I think Sham Charania. I'm pretty sure. That ain't my guy, but we met a couple times. He used to come to Fox when he first got into the business. Now he's popping now. So what you laughing at?
Oh, this motherfucker said Sham Charania.
I think that's
what it sounds like. One word. It sounds like a food. You want some Sham Charania tonight, baby?
This is a racist show, y'all. This is a really racist show.
Charania? Everybody saying McAfee every day, ain't he?
Everybody said just say Shams. Yeah, I think he is on McAfee.
Oh shit!
Young cat though, I do respect that. Young cat hustling. He made a name for himself. He like my age. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my 20s. I'm in my 20s. So,
yeah, he was placed there though. All right, so let's get it break it down. There's 5 candidates. Smitty wasn't placed there, but 5 candidates to watch out for the Alabama job.
Damn. You got a list?
I got a list. I'm gonna go with these 5, and then let's play a hell yeah, hell nah. Will one of these 5 get the job? So I'm gonna start with Lane Kiffin. Lane will fuck with you on social media. He will fuck with you in every which way. He put pictures with the eyeball emoji at the airport and shit. Just getting fucking people fucked up. I don't think Bama would hire an offensive guy that is so offensive and stristic. What's the word?
I don't know. Hold on. Say it again. Offensive what? Shit.
Let me hold on. God damn, I used to say this word all the time.
Extrinsic? Like, is it EXT?
Yeah. We're not the smartest cats on this show. That's why. Eccentric.
Eccentric?
Yeah, it's eccentric, eccentric. I don't know.
Hold on. A person who behaves in odd or unusual ways. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Eccentric.
He is a little bit too eccentric, in my opinion. And you know, somebody in the chat will always fix your shit, right? You know, somebody's gonna know.
They can't wait. Them of us just wait for you to fuck up. Like, that's just keyboard warriors.
I believe Lane's too eccentric to be the head coach at Alabama. I just don't think that Bama wants the social media, the all the shit that comes with Lane. I don't know if that's who they want. So I'm going to say Lane Kiffin out. Dabo Swinney played there, coached there, won a couple natties by beating Alabama twice. I think his time passed. I don't think they want him anymore because of the fact he is unwilling to abide or assimilate to the new way of the walk of the land, which means he doesn't want to get into the portal. He doesn't want to get into the NIL. He doesn't want to do those things. I don't think Dabo's in any longer. I think he's out. Mike Norvell. Nobody's really talking about him, which it doesn't scare me because I don't care who gets the job. But I believe he's the leading candidate, quiet as kept. And now I believe if I'm Mike Norvell, who I know very well, good dude, blowing his agent up, get me the fuck out of Florida State.
Now.
Yeah, I mean, is he not? I mean, they're doing him like they did Harbaugh. Like, why not? You kept me out of the league, the playoffs. You kept me out of it. Now we're getting hit with sanctions. Get me out of here because Bama's unsanctionable. Is that even a word?
I think it's a word today on the JV show with Big Smitty. Unsanctionable is a word.
Bama. You ain't sanctioning Bama, especially if Nick Saban's still around helping out or something. They're not getting sanctioned. So, I mean, Georgia got DUIs like a motherfucker and ain't getting sanctioned. So you know that Alabama's not getting sanctioned. So Norvell is a very, very 1A, 1B on my list. But let's go through the other ones. Yep. Kalen DeBoer, the head coach at Washington, who's done a hell of a job leaving Fresno, going to Washington, creating what he's created there, has a tie with Greg Byrne, the AD at Alabama. He is a very, very, very well-rounded. He's probably the most well-rounded coach of the list, meaning he's more like Saban than any of these other guys. Is he sexy enough? I don't see it.
Pause. Nah, and I don't think I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at the Pac-12 buy. I don't know if I don't think of Bama when I think of Kalen DeBoer. Like, I don't think of that. You know, Saban's gritty.
But I don't think people thought Saban that either. When Saban got off the plane by quitting and leaving and getting ran out of Michigan State, let's keep it 100 now.
Damn, wow.
Well, I know very, very insightful information on that when he left Michigan State. Now, I had buddies on the staff. I'll give you a true story. I'll tell you why not. Saban overnight, basically, kind of like Mel Tucker leaving Colorado, who was like, I'm going to stay, blah, 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 told the staff, etc.
Right.
While he slept, he decided to take the LSU job. And he texts his staff, I'm on the tarmac. Anyone wants to come meet me at the airport now. And I've taken the LSU job.
Damn, that's how he did it.
He waited at the airport. He waited at the airport. He waited at the airport. Not one staff member showed up to go with him. True story. What? So, having said that, Pete Carroll's still the best coach of all time. Having said that, comes down to one guy, Steve Sarkisian, who is the sexy hire, who has the offensive prowess, who's taken his team to the playoff now, who beat Alabama. The fans like him, blah, blah, blah. Now he's got a cloud over his head of what happened at SC. There's rumors out there what happened at Bama with him. I don't know. I'm just telling you right now, a good friend of mine, is he the guy? Out of those 5, who you got? Who you like?
Man,
hey,
that's...
shut up. Mike Tomlin's not going to the college football. All right, go ahead.
Man, you got me thinking now, man. That Mike Norvell, man. That Norvell might be, for some reason, that's the one that's standing out for me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he has that like Bama demeanor. You know what I'm saying to him? I mean, what he did with Florida State this year was incredible. You know what I'm saying? As much as we said they didn't deserve to be in the playoffs, the fact that he still ended the season undefeated with the injured QB and went out there and found a way to still put together a winning, undefeated season, I think that was incredible. You saw the way the defense, looked this year with Florida State. I think that translates to Bama. I think Norvell is the one that, for me, stands out the most, and I think just fits well. Will have something to prove, you know what I'm saying, as a coach. Obviously getting so close to the promised land, so to speak, but then, not getting the opportunity to truly showcase that. To me, that's my number one pick out of all. And he's pretty young too, right? Norvell, he looks young as hell.
Yeah, he is. He's younger than me.
Yeah, you old as shit. So yeah, I mean, I think youth, this the mindset, defensive mentality, ability to get big recruits. To me, he's my number one choice out of that group.
Yeah, I would like to see Sark there because of my boy. The best guy for the job is Urban Meyer, but he won't get it because he won't stay. And I think his name's kind of getting he's probably like told people I'm not interested, or he would have already been coaching in my
Yeah.
So,
if Urban go there for 4 years, he's winning 3 natties.
I know.
Right, that's how I feel about it.
I don't know. I don't know if his wife's letting, whatever it may be. I don't know.
Happy wife, happy life. I know that lifestyle, bro.
But I believe Alabama has to have a guy that's going to be there for 15 plus years. Alabama don't do this too often. Now, they did have a run, though, where they had Shula, Mike Price, Francione, back to back to back, total fucking disasters. One of them went to a titty bar, used a school credit card, fired the first couple weeks. One of them was a disaster, did a disastrous job, and then Shula was bad. So this could be one of those eras, man. Alabama hits a little wall and fire and hires a couple guys, and they got to go through it, and they're back to the norm. They're back to not reality, I guess, but back to middle of the pack type of team, especially in the era that we're in with NIL and transfer portal. Maybe
that is true.
That's why you have a guy that is transfer portal savvy.
Yep.
NIL money available to get that money, go get it, and then somebody the players want to play for and that can recruit. I thought Dan Lanning was the perfect fit, to be honest, because of his age and what he's been doing on the rise, ascending guy. Sark is still in that mix. Sark's my age. I Lane is a great fit just because of his personality, recruiting prowess, and, offense. But then he hasn't got over the hump. He hasn't really got to a playoff. Like, at least Sark got to the playoff. I don't know. I don't believe he has that. You don't think of defense, and that's what you think of in Alabama. And I don't know if you think of, when you see Lane, it's going to be like more of a eccentric vibe. So
eccentric.
I don't know.
I'm like, anytime you say the word eccentric, you gotta get real close to the mic and like say it that way. Like every time, it's something about the word eccentric that makes you say it that way.
Hey, I've seen a whole where people on live TV have fucked up bad. Kevin Garnett's the worst. Have you seen his fucking ones he does?
I don't know if I seen. I might have. Is it an old video?
I don't know, but he said, was he trying to say? God damn, that shit was comical.
He couldn't say it. Kevin Garnett funny as hell. He's one.
I don't know what he said. Without further ado, it is Free Game Friday. We got a lot to break down. NFL weekend, wild card weekend, and it wouldn't be Free Game Friday without some free game. And bringing in our main man, Jeff Nadu.
Jeffrey Nadu, what's going on, Jeffrey?
What's up? How are you guys?
Jeff, you like this shirt?
It's pretty funny. I thought it was funny.
What does it say?
I got a dig Bick. You read it wrong.
Jeff's calculated. Jeff's not gonna
No. You missed. You cut him off. He said you read that wrong. No, it says that. It says you that read wrong. You fucked up.
You that read wrong. You read that. I couldn't see the whole thing. You read that wrong. Okay. Yeah, it's a little confusing for sure. But yes, you got to be calculated doing this. So.
You do nowadays, because
the
nowadays
word that mattered, I didn't.
Jeff, social media will destroy you if you fuck up one word. If you don't put a comma or period on your sentences, like we have. Not only does Twitter and Instagram, everyone knows everything on there. They know your job better than their own. They're also grammatical geniuses. They're fucking English majors. They're fucking, it's unbelievable how unbelievable they are.
Say it right. Say it right.
They're always all the smartest people in the world, yet we don't really know who the fuck they are. So it's always something, but don't worry about it. Listen, I've had to relive a word that I said like 10 years ago. I still hear about it. So, I mean, I get it.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Tell me about
it. Google it. I'm a racist,
Me too. It's funny. The racist thing couldn't really stick with me, but of course, the dick writers do it.
Both of y'all racist. All right, let's go ahead and move on.
You're the most racist cat on here.
But I love white, black, Mexican.
Jeff, according to the Twitter people, I'm the new head coach in Alabama.
Congrats.
So, congratulate me.
Yeah, congrats. I was going to throw your name into the hat. I figured you'd ask, who do you think the next coach is? I was thinking, it's got to be Jason Brown, right?
Hey, we just did that with Smitty, and I just did that little segue. Lane Kiffin, Dabo Swinney, Sark, Mike Norvell, Kalen DeBoer. Out of one of those five, who do you take?
Out of those five, I'm not a fan of a lot of them individuals.
So Sark has ties. Lane has ties. Dabo played there, coached there as a GA. Norvell doesn't have ties, but he's the guy that's obviously embedded into the new era of football, which is NIL.
In that group is DeBoer.
Huh?
DeBoer is the best coach in that group, though.
I think he's the most well-rounded. I agree. I think he's the closest thing to Nick Saban as far as well-rounded. I'm going to make sure I focus on one side of the ball. I'm going to hire great coaches to help with the other side, and then I'm going to structure an organization.
Here's the thing. Look, I think if you look into the tea leaves, DeBoer was supposedly spotted on a flight from Washington to Alabama, and he also postponed his radio, some kind of interview he was supposed to do, which is interesting. Why does Sark leave Texas? That doesn't make a lot of sense. They're going to the SEC. They have the same resources that Alabama would have. I just don't know that Lane. I don't know if that doesn't do much. I think it's got to be DeBoer. If I'm Alabama, I would make it be DeBoer. But yeah, if you're Sark, I don't know why you would. Why do that?
DeBoer. Hey, that is a dope name, though. I say that DeBoer. I'm the boy. I'm the boy. You know what I mean? That's a cool little like catchy. I don't know if he's maximizing that name right now and selling merch and all that. I'm not for sure what his business side is and his acumen on that end, but I hope he's utilizing that name to make some bread outside of the coaching game, man.
I've seen some wild people in this chat with like rumors they hear, like they're bringing up, like this guy's talking about Mike Loxley. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, it's Alabama. I saw someone say Dave Doran, the king of being fucking 9-3 every year. Come on, man. I mean, really, it's Alabama, the biggest fucking team in the country. It ain't gonna be Mike fucking Loxley for Christ's sake.
That's why I kind of like. I don't know if DeBoer has the sex appeal. That's my only issue. We know that he's a hell of a coach. The coaching world knows what he can do. I don't know if he's the guy that, because social media platforms, the big ones, of course, are the ones that push these fantasy playing fans to think they should hire the coach. Like, they think the fans should be hired. Well, we want the sexy guy. But the best coach, I agree, is probably DeBoer in that group as far as well-rounded. Now, is he the sexy guy for an Alabama collective, Alabama alum? Remember, their alum goes deep. The NFL players that are going to come around and have a say in this. Trent Richardson was on yesterday with us, obviously, and he's talked to all of them, and they're like, we want Kirby Smart. That's who they want. Does Kirby make that move? And you know what is funny about this is the longer this takes, the more I think Kirby's engaging.
Could you imagine if he does that? Holy shit. What a fucking storyline that would be every year. And then who do they go after? Because it's really just going to be.
They go after Dan Lanning. They go after Dan Lanning hard.
Even though he's committed.
It's over though. Dan can't leave now. Not after this. He can't. You can't make a fucking video and do all that.
But if you're Dan Lanning, why would you ever, like, if I'm in Oregon as a football coach, why ever leave there?
Well, why don't you ask that? We talked about this yesterday. Is it a gold mine, Jeff? Or why? If it's such a gold mine, Jeff, let me ask you. If it's such a gold mine,
own California and the West Coast. If you're Oregon,
yeah, but why has Mario left? Why has?
Because they haven't won.
Willie Taggart left? No, they left on their own. They weren't fired. Why did Chip Kelly leave? Why have these guys left if it's such a gold mine? And you have 1,000 jersey combinations. You got Phil Knight and Nike. You got all these things. Listen, I've had hundreds of buddies of mine coach there. I've been up there many times to clinic and talk to guys, and I've had, I've very tightly knitted groups there. I've sent a lot of players there. I have a lot of insight at Oregon. Every coach I've ever known to coach there couldn't wait to leave there. They don't think about facilities, Nike, and color combinations of jerseys. They think of, I can't take my kid to the park because it's fucking suicidal outside.
What about also, someone's mentioned this, you never really think about this, but I know like how I feel. When it's cloudy here, like 2 or 3 days in a row, I hate it. It's like, can I get some sun? Like I don't know how people live in England. Like it's fucking cloudy and rainy.
Well, what about Seattle, bro?
Yeah,
we talked about this yesterday. We had a whole argument about this yesterday. Just funny you mentioned that. We were saying the same thing. I'm from Indiana, obviously, so we had a lot of those days where you just go outside. It's like, man, like I don't feel like doing shit. Yeah.
By the way, I've been to a titty bar in Eugene with some of the Oregon coaches years ago. It was the fucking worst. It's right there with the Kansas titty bars. I'm just telling you right now. So
you know what's funny? Old folks, y'all always just call them titty bars. Like y'all never say like strip club. Y'all just say titty bar. It just sounds like it's an old person saying. Like
we've been calling that since I was young, though.
I know because you're old though. Like that's y'all thing. Like,
no, when I was young, we called them titty bar.
I know, but I'm saying it's an old school thing. When you were young, you were young in the 70s, motherfucker.
Nah, we said strip club. We said strip club, but you was
young in 79, motherfucker.
Hey, Coach Brown. What year were you born?
76.
Yes, I told you.
Wow, so you were like 4 years old in the late 70s. That's great.
Yeah. He remembers he remembers the 70s.
Yeah, I was in the Compton Precipice gang banging. You know what I mean? That's
Let
where
me
it was.
ask you, I was watching the show. I've been watching the show a lot recently. I'm into season 3, and I feel like you would love this show, but maybe you don't.
What is it?
You ever see Ballers?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
I've never watched it. I'm watching
You
it
ever
right
watch it with Rocky being Ballers?
Yeah, The Rock. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched when it came out.
Super late, Jeff. You super late.
No, listen. So let me explain. I watched season 1 of Ballers, and then for whatever reason, I stopped watching it. But I actually like it. I mean, so far.
Yeah, it's all right. It was good. It was hot when it came out. It was like
what you would like.
Yeah. It was good. It was a good show. I mean, I don't know. It's
on HBO.
Yeah, it was an HBO special at that time. It's probably on everything now, Netflix and everything.
It's on Netflix now. Yeah.
All right, big
Little Jeff.
I gotta ask you something. The
Little
Trojans
Jeff,
lost by
fuck you.
60 points. They
Little
got
Smitty.
beat by 60 points twice this year. Last night they got beat by 60 points. We keep hiring Steve Nash and Chauncey Billups of the world. When are they gonna say enough is enough? Stop hiring these fucking nobodies that never coached. Can you give me your insight on this basketball thing since you bet it so heavy?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I generally bet the NBA, and I'm pretty good at the NBA. Last night, I actually bet Portland. I thought they were getting 13 against the Thunder. I thought, wow, that's hard to lay double digits in the NBA. But didn't Boston get crushed as well?
By 40.
Yeah, a lot of blood last night. Yikes.
And by the way, Thunder is a good ass team this year. Too. You got the young teams are balling this year.
Yeah. I think the Thunder are like number 2 or 3. I saw the Western Conference Finals or the standings, and I saw like the Thunder, it's amazing.
Houston.
Minnesota, I think it's
Minnesota.
But this is kind of where the coaching stuff is, where you're just going after former players and you just assume. Because, look, I mean, ask yourself, have they ever worked out? I mean, a lot of these coaches, you mentioned Chauncey Billups, Steve Nash, Tyronn Lue.
Jason Kidd works. And Tyronn Lue definitely works.
All right.
Tyronn Lue got a ring.
But they started as GAs on the bench at a Lakers organization under Phil. Ty did.
Rivers.
Like guys like that started off. Jason Kidd earned it through attrition, got to be under Pop, other great legends. These guys didn't get to do that. They go straight. Steve Nash never coached.
Yeah, Steve Nash was like what was it? Like he had some title with the Warriors.
Office guy. He wasn't a guy.
Like a shooting coach or something. It was something.
I don't know, man. Like
Chauncey was an assistant, but it was only for like 1 year though. So
I know. Larry Bird to me was the best player that ever coached. That's period. He was this close to beating Jordan in Game 7 when he was the Pacers head coach. He had the demeanor that you got to fucking figure it out. This is what you're supposed to do. The Pacers ran through a wall for the dude. He played no games. He was a hell of an X's and O's coach. And some people have the it factor. He just decided to say, fuck it. I'm going up in the booth. I don't want to do this no more. I think he saw the writing on the wall with what was coming. But Larry, to me, was the best that ever did it. Meaning greatness. Like Phil Jackson, you can say was a good player and all. He was good. He was okay. He wasn't Larry fucking Bird. I'm talking about legendary players that coach. Right. Jason Kidd, we can call him maybe legendary player. I don't know.
That's Hall of Fame now. I don't know.
Yeah, he's Hall of Fame. Like he worked his way up. He paid his dues. This guy was an assistant for 10 plus years. Like those are the guys that make it in this profession.
How about Isaiah Thomas?
Same thing. He did all right too. He did all right too in Indiana.
Cool.
He did all right too in Indiana. But guess what? Larry hired him. So
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting, but I don't know. Anyway, big Jeff, I gotta ask you a question.
If I could say one thing real quick on the NBA, I think the Pistons can make the run as the worst record for an 82-game team ever. This team is terrible. I mean, how are they going to win 7 games? I mean, they have to win 7 more games to eclipse the 72-73 Sixers, who are 9-72, I believe. This team is terrible. Yeah. The Pistons. They're 3-35. Trade deadline's coming up, so they're going to lose a lot of players, I'm sure. A few guys will leave. I mean, that's a bad team.
So young.
Bill Russell, best player coach to ever do it. I say I say Steve Kerr is the best player coach ever to do it. He's got 4 rings and he's won 10. All right, let me break this down. I want to get into this thing we were supposed to be playing yesterday, but we waited for you. Top 5 players to start a franchise with today in the NFL. Obviously, the obvious is going to be go with the quarterback, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go. We got Smitty's picks here. We got Smitty's top 5.
Yeah, you better have mine. Ooh, wee. So man, I got Josh Allen. I got Josh Allen's a dog, bro. He's a football player. He's gonna play hard. He's gonna play through injury. He's gonna put his body on the line. He's gonna do whatever it takes. But you're also gonna get some mistakes with Josh Allen. You got to know that.
Wait to coach this list up. I can't wait to coach this list.
Number 2, I got Lamar Jackson. I know a lot of people on this show is not gonna like this and having this guy on the list. But the thing about Lamar Jackson, he's a winner. And I know for a fact when Lamar Jackson is healthy, at bare minimum, I'm gonna give around 11-12 games to win every single regular season. Now, he still has some stuff to prove in the playoffs, which we all know and agree to that. I believe he will prove that this year. But I know when I get Lamar Jackson, I'm getting an MVP, and I'm getting a winner. Trent Williams, man, outside of quarterback, this guy might be the best player in the NFL, arguably. Doesn't get a lot of love because the offensive line is not like a sexy position, of course, but you really watch Trent Williams play, man. Supreme athlete.
He's 35.
He's a dog. He's a beast, and he still got it. And he still got it. Let's think about it though. Like
yeah, but
have you seen anything that has you feel like Trent is slowed down? I just haven't. It is what it is. So next up, I got TJ Watt, 19 sacks, defensive player of the year last year. Might win again this year. Dog, physical, relentless, high motor, still pretty young. I think he's on the path to being a Hall of Famer. And then Myles Garrett, man, anytime you're so good that you got 2 guys following me across the line, wherever Myles go, you're mirroring him with a tight end and a wing. That shows me that I am literally unstoppable. There's nothing you can do to stop me. So that's my list. Yeah, Trent's a little older. I get it, but I don't care because at the end of the day, he hasn't shown me anything that's shown me that he can't be dominant for the next 5 or so years. And beyond that, yeah, he's old, but this is a win now league. We were talking earlier about if the Eagles lose against the Bucks, Nick Sirianni might be let go. Yeah, he might bring in Belichick, which sounds crazy, but at the end of the day, it's about winning now. So when I'm starting my franchise, I'm starting to win soon. I'm not starting to build for 10 years. I'm trying to win within the next couple of years. So this is my list. I love it. Feel free to critique it.
All right, so I'm with Jeff. I was questioning the same thing about age. We're talking about starting a franchise with right now, meaning you're going to start a franchise with him. That doesn't mean we're going to get rid of the guy next year. We're starting a franchise with him. You can't start him with Trent no more. Yeah, he's the best possibly ever. I don't know. He's in the top 5 in my opinion, but he's too old. TJ Watt is too injury prone to start a franchise with. Myles Garrett, I love him. He's a freak. Lamar, I can't do it. He's just, again, a quarterback that's an injury prone guy. It's going to be interesting with your start. I love that you started with Josh Allen because a lot of people think that I will not start with a guy like Josh Allen. But Bailey, pull mine up. It's Josh Allen. The reason I'm Josh Allen is because he has yet to be hurt or injured, even though he plays with reckless abandonment. Turnover is fucking unbelievable, and I would choke slam the fuck out of him every game. But having said that, he's available. And I believe you can coach him and correct some of these things with offensive calling, which Joe Brady's done over the last few weeks, which they've taken the load off of him. But then now we got to train him not to be the guy that just thinks he has to make a great play every time. Make the average play look average, and he'll be fine. So the reason I start him over Joe Burrow is because, again, Joe Burrow is hurt a lot. So I can't start a franchise with him. This guy's the one guy that plays every game. So I'm going to go with a freak that I think I can fix and train and coach that's available. I'm going to go Josh Allen. Laramie Tunsil is your Trent Williams, but 20 years younger. And I believe he's the new class of the O-line, even though we may say some things about him and he's weird and fucking smoke bongs on TV and all that. He's a dude. And I'm going to go with Max Crosby over your Watt pick because he's available, and his motor is just unmatched. And I think he's the team guy that everybody wants to play for. Sauce Gardner, corner extraordinaire, lockdown extraordinaire, young. And then I go Bijan Robinson because he was underused in Atlanta. I believe he is a guy that you can use like a Kamara, like a Swift in Philly. That's when he's used right. A guy that can be used in multifaceted CMC style, Barkley style guy that is dynamic and he's young. So if you notice mine, I went younger than Smitty. I went more versatile, and I went that guys that aren't injury prone. So that's why I started a franchise with these guys. Jeff, I don't know what you think about our list, but give us your list.
Yeah, it's weird because you left off like arguably the 2 or 3 best players in the NFL, and Kelce, Mahomes, Justin Jefferson.
Kelsey's old as fuck. You start your franchise with Kelce. He just mentioned he might retire. You'd start your franchise with this guy?
Travis. No, he said he's not retiring. Don't do that. He said I'm not retiring.
I don't. You just make things up per usual with him.
Hold on, though. A guy that's mentioning retirement is a fucking problem. You want to sign that guy?
Smitty said fucking Trent Williams. He's 35 for Christ's sakes.
Well, I'm just saying this guy's a tight end with the Swifty baggage and all that. I would never start that.
And he's still very good. What are you talking about?
He's all right. He looks shitty this year.
Okay, so you don't want to put him on. Justin Jefferson, 10 games. He still has almost 70 catches. He's still the best receiver in the NFL. I'm putting him on the list.
How many games did he miss this year?
8.
But this, in all fairness, I think this is the first time Justin Jefferson has been like hurt.
He's only played 3 years.
And
I know this is the first time that he's been hurt. I mean, you're going to get hurt in the NFL, bro. Like Tom Brady missed the whole fucking season. That doesn't mean you're injury prone.
With a receiver, bro.
I
agree to that. I'm not doing that either. Yeah.
I put CJ
Jeff, to be honest with you, fair to you, I can get a receiver fucking anywhere, anytime.
Fair enough. I'll put CJ Stroud somewhere on that list.
I like that a lot, actually.
And I'll put my boy Nick Bosa.
I like that too. See, now, I try to go with people who truly impact like wins and losses, and to me,
the locker room.
Yeah, great defensive line play, great offensive alignment, and then obviously quarterbacks. Yeah. So the guy that you had, JB, who I understand, but I don't think he should be on the list because of today's style of play and game is Bijan Robinson. I know it sounds crazy. He's young. I think he has the ability to be amazing, but we know that the impact of running backs in today's game isn't like 10 years ago. You know,
I'm going to tell you what. You know a kid I love, receiver? That kid with the Lions, Ross St. Brown.
Hell yeah.
He's a dog, man. He's a dog.
He got snubbed. Yeah. He got snubbed by A.J. Brown, in my opinion. He's got better stats than A.J. Brown. He was available. He missed 2 games, I believe. But I think he got snubbed by A.J. Brown because of his popularity vote.
That kid is.
In numbers. In numbers. A.J. Brown had a hell of a year, y'all. I'm sorry. I know.
His numbers aren't as good as St. Brown, bro. I pulled him up. St. Brown has better stats in every category.
Pull him up.
St. Brown, 119, 10 touchdowns. 1,515 yards.
What's A.J. got?
A.J. Brown is not at that number.
I know he's not. I don't know why he keeps saying fact.
I didn't say fact. Stop. I didn't say fact. 14.
Fact yesterday that A.J. Brown had better stats, and I'm like, no, he don't.
A.J. Brown has 13 less catches, 3 less touchdowns, and about 20 less yards receiving. So
how does A.J. Brown get in over this guy when he has this negative ass connotation over him right now, especially in the locker room? How did you put him in? Again, popularity votes.
Yep, I gotta agree with that. I'm wrong here. I'll admit when I'm wrong.
I will tell you, and that was a good call on you by the kid Gardner, Ahmad Gardner.
Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, he's
who?
He's on Sauce Gardner. Gardner.
I'll take a team and start a team with a corner all day long because that you have to lock down the Justin Jeffersons of the world. I can go get Jamar Chase, Amon St. Brown, A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson, but I can't go get Sauce Gardner, bro.
I'd consider Jalen Carter on that list for sure. We have to give Jalen some credit. He is the best defensive lineman, arguably, in Eagles history so far already.
Here's the issue with taking an interior D lineman as I build a team, though.
What? Why? I heard Aaron Donald was the best player in the NFL.
But I'm just talking about for me. I didn't pick Aaron Donald. I didn't pick an interior D.
No, I mean in like a couple of years ago.
The reason I take a pass rusher over an interior guy is because of the fact that there's easier ways to double team my motherfucking ass inside than it is to put my guy on an island and tell him to beat a tight end, a O tackle, or a back. And that's why I would start with a pass rusher like Smitty did with Miles, like I did with Max. I wouldn't take TJ Watt because of his injury proneness, but
his injuries hasn't been an issue though. Like he got 19 sacks, so like he got injured at the end of the season. Okay, TJ Watt, defensive player of the year last year, 19 sacks this year. TJ Watt, yeah. Like injuries hasn't been like a major issue.
I'm not saying he's not productive, but he does miss games, critical games when the season matters the most. And that's my problem. I need an available guy if I'm going to start a franchise with him. That's all I'm saying.
Before the season, these are the 10 best players according to NFL.com. 10 Chris Jones, 9 Parsons, 8 Josh Allen, 7 Tyreek Hill, 6 Joe Burrow, 5 Kelce, 4 Nick Bosa, 3 Hurts, 2 Jefferson, 1 Mahomes.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm surprised Smitty left the guy off the list. I would have bet my house and lost.
Anthony Richardson?
No, I'm being in seriousness. I thought he would for sure have Parsons on there.
Yeah, I thought about it, bro. But like, as a pass rush purist, as a D-line purist, Michael Parsons is a freak. I'm not taking nothing away from him. He's a hell of a player, and he could definitely be on the list, no issue. But I don't look at him as like just a great D lineman. I look at him as a great football player. When I look at TJ Watt and Myles Garrett, these guys are true great defensive linemen. Meaning like the different moves they have, the hand placement, the ability to like really watch the offensive lineman shift their weight on one side and come back inside. I'm not saying Micah could not do that or does not do that, but I feel like Mike is a great athlete who's just faster than you and just stronger than you, and he just kind of uses that natural ability. Whereas Myles and TJ, you watch them play, it's like true D-line like technicians, if that makes sense. And you got to really play the game to understand what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm going that route.
Yeah. I don't know. TJ Watt, I mean, he played 10 games last year. He missed 8. This year he's going to miss, and then again he missed the last 8. This year he's missing the last major game in the playoffs. I don't know. I find it hard to start my team with that guy because he's going to get hurt a little bit down the stretch. And listen, he's played for the most part in his career, but as he gets older, we get more injury prone. And this is what, his 7th year in the league, or something like that. TJ Watt. He started now more than that, isn't it? What? He started in what? 17, 18, 19. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We're entering year 8.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, Jeff, let's get into some brass tacks here. We got a big weekend slate here. Big Smitty and I did our wild card picks, and we're going to just do that.
By the way, shout out to me for Michigan.
Shout out to you. Yes, indeed.
Shout out to you.
Kill those fucking movies.
Hey, Jeff, you get a lot of, by the way, you get a lot of credit that's probably not heard on your end, but like Eric Weddle and Big Matt and T-Rit, a lot of them hit me up like, man, Jeff knows his shit. Boo, boo, boo. Sean Salisbury, of course. So you do get credit. I think when we get that huge platform and we're in person, then you're going to get known as the motherfucking man. But Jeff hits soccer, by the way. Jeff hits college basketball, by the way. Jeff hits his shit now. There was a reason Barstool had him up there, just so I remind people that all the time.
Listen, I will say something, and I will never say it in this show because it would never be respected. Soccer's the greatest sport on the planet. It's that simple. I wouldn't say it here because it won't be accepted. However, that's my favorite sport to actually gamble on, and the world watches it. We got to get you in, JB, to like the.
Anyway,
I was like, "What's going on?" Hey,
Smitty was really listening for him. He was like, "Where you at?" Hey, all I know is, Jeff, you hit soccer a lot. I know
I
that.
do. Yeah, I love it. Yep.
And I know that we've talked to some people that have, some big money involved, and he's interested in that play. So we're gonna get to talk to you about that. All right, so we're gonna get into Smitty's picks first. He has his wild card picks.
Oh wow, you have them graphic? Oh, nice.
And before we
don't mess around.
Hey Jeff, before we do this though, are you ordering the game on fucking Peacock?
No. I've railed against Peacock a few times. I complained about it a couple of weeks ago when there was a huge college basketball game that was on Peacock, and I said, "What the fuck is? How many fucking apps do we got to pay for?" I mean, seriously, I pay $300 a month for fucking cable, and we have a network for literally everything. Yet I got to pay another $12.99 a month for fucking. No, I'm not. No. Fuck that.
Cancel your cable. Cancel your cable, Jeff, and just go streamers. You don't need no cable no more, my guy.
I don't trust it, man. I don't. What if the internet goes out? I need to have the hardwired. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
And to me, I look at it as a business expense. It is what it is, but I don't know, man.
Here's my thing on this whole thing. I would not buy the Peacock game for one fact. It's going to be negative fucking 30. And the game is going to probably be as sloppy and disinterested game as you can play. I don't know how you get rallied up to go out there, because I played in minus 13, by the way. Smitty, I don't know what the coldest you played in. I played in minus 13. And as a quarterback, let me just tell you, if you get touched and if you fall down on that ground,
hurts.
It is like getting skipped across water at 100 miles an hour. You are getting burn marks. You're getting fucking destroyed. Your bones fucking vibrate your teeth. It is not fun. And I'm surprised in this soft-ass, pussification-ass world that we didn't just cancel the game. I'll be honest. I would be shocked to move that motherfucker indoors somewhere. And
I'm waiting for that.
And it's going to be bad. And I don't know.
They say it might be the coldest game in NFL history.
I mean, you got the Midwest is getting one of the coldest, some type of storm.
Yeah, my mom told me yesterday, JB. I talked to her last night. She said, my sister's school already, they're saying next Tuesday, the school is like canceled because it's supposed to be something really bad, cold, like a cold front or something is coming ahead.
And it's probably immigrants have probably taken over the gym. All right, so look, let's dive into your picks. Browns over Texans. Jeff, I agree with this one. Do you?
I want to come out and say, I feel like maybe the Texans would be live here. But I just don't know if they're ready to win in the playoffs. I think they have a great future ahead of them. I don't think they should take anything away from what's happened. But no, I think for CJ, it's going to be very hard to navigate that defense. We saw him last week at times struggle a little bit with a group like Indianapolis. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Browns. I don't think it'll be easy, but yeah, I think the Browns are going to win this game.
I think that defense is very, very. I don't like it. I think CJ is going to struggle in his first playoff game. Not struggle. I think he'll still throw for a few hundred yards and do his thing. I think he's that guy. But at the same time, I just think that without Tank, without that slot presence against that pressure that they bring with just their front four, Cleveland, meaning Cleveland, they can play coverage behind and give different looks coverage-wise to C.J. Stroud that confuses him. And if they can get to a QB without pressure, it makes quarterbacks hold the ball because there's more guys in coverage. And that was Tom Brady's kryptonite, and that may be C.J.'s this weekend. I like the Browns in this one.
I think the one thing we have to remember, they played on Christmas Eve. Davis Mills was the starting quarterback for the Texans. They only had, I think, 3.7 yards a play, 250 yards. You have to wonder if C.J. Stroud's in that game. Is it a different game?
Is he that much better, I guess, is the question.
Than Davis Mills?
No, I'm just saying, is he that big of a point difference, though, in that game?
I think that's probably within a possession if he's in there, right? I mean, it's 36-22. And Davis Mills was really bad. And also, to remember, Joe Flacco was unbelievably good. I think he had almost 400 passing yards in that game. So, I don't know. I think the Browns will find a way to win. Am I looking to lay the number? No. I think the game could be very close. But I just don't know if the Texans, I feel like they're just happy to be there. I think they'll win long term, next year, maybe the year after. But to say they're going to come in and win a playoff game on the road, is this on the road? No, it isn't. It's Houston. Wow.
Yeah, the creator when the AFC. So I'm saying it's going to be loud as hell. They ain't been in the playoffs in a while. sometimes when you're young, though, when you don't know no better, that kind of helps you. You know what I'm saying? You just go out there like, hey, fuck it. Like, we here. Like, we don't.
But as a better to me, I want to get a field goal here, right? I want to have that field goal in my back pocket. At 2.5 or 2, we essentially have to win the game, which I just don't see Houston doing. But I'm rooting for them. I really like this team. I think there's a lot to be excited about with them down there.
Hey, Jeff,
I don't want to see the Browns long term. They're boring to me.
Yeah. These are Smitty's picks. I'm just narrating the thing. I'll narrate mine too. Smitty, dive into your picks. I'm just getting Jeff's take on both of our picks.
I love it. Now do it. Go do your thing.
I've gone back and forth on this one. We'll get to mine later, but it's basically Chiefs over Dolphins. I'm gonna now. We don't have to show mine because I'll just tell you what I'm going with the Browns, but I'm gonna go with the Dolphins here on a late change of heart for the simple fact that in this game in minus 30-degree weather, Miami has more big home run hitters with A-Chain, Mostert, Hill, Weddle. And it just takes, even though it'll be a shitty game, I think it'll be a fucking shitty ass. But if you get the ball and one guy breaks one of those snow tackles, he is gone and you're not catching him. I don't know if the Chiefs have that. And they're more possession, drive the football and get the ball to Kelce over the middle and fall down. I don't know if you can do that and sustain that for a game that's in negative 30-degree weather with the wind chill factor of that. I think you got to have a couple home runs in there and then play like keep away. And I think the Dolphins are the only team that can do that in this particular game. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins. Smitty's going with the Chiefs. Where are you at?
I mean, I think the one thing that, a lot of the fan base, the media, they'll try to paint this as, well, it's Miami. Every one of them is only from the Florida Keys, and they don't know how to play in cold weather. Listen, everybody's going to be cold in this game. Just everybody. I mean, it's I don't care if it's patch. They're all going to be fucking cold. It's going to be negative 40 degrees with the wind chill. No, everyone would react the same way. When the rubber meets the road, I think this is a rough game to watch. I'm going to be all over the under in this one. Just not a bunch of scoring. I think a big play could obviously decide it. I also will throw this out. I just don't really have much interest in laying points with the Chiefs. They're not good as a favorite. Dolphins have been a great underdog, and I do think they have a bit more of the home run threat. I mean, we think Kadarius Toney drops the football in normal weather. What's it going to be like in minus 40 degrees? I just see more weapons on one side. Something tells me the Dolphins are going to go in there and get the job done because you got to throw out all the numbers a lot of the time in these kind of games.
There's no way this is over 43.5 points scored, right?
Yeah, the numbers come down a lot. It was mid-40s. Now I figure it's going to be close to 40 when it closes. Yeah, you don't think it. I mean, but then again, I always go back, guys. I forget what year it was, 2011, 2012. The Eagles and Lions played. There was probably 6-8 inches of snow on the field, and the game went way over. Just
Shady McCoy, shout out to my guy Shady. Balled the fuck out. One of his best
Shady
games
had a
of his
huge
career.
game.
Yeah.
And remember, I mean, the wind's going to be bad. That's what affects these games, not precipitation a lot of the time. So,
and I'm glad you brought that up, man. The wind being a big issue, and that's why I'm going with the Chiefs. And I've been going back and forth too, guys. Like I had the Dolphins at first. I think I earlier in the week I said one and done. The Chiefs are out, and I would love to see that. By the way, I don't really rock with Chiefs Kingdom, but the more this weather report comes out, I just think that the Chiefs are built more so for this type of game. Pacheco's a physical back. The Chiefs defense is a top 10 defense this year. They're physical as well. And I just think that, if the Dolphins, again, you're right, Jeff. Like, it's not like every player is from Miami because you're on the Dolphins doesn't mean you're from there. But I will say, though, when all season long you've been playing for the most part, like in good weather and, sunny Miami, that does play a factor where the Chiefs it's been cold in Kansas City for a couple months now. So now everyone's going, it ain't been no negative 40, of course, but it's been cold. So I do think it's a little different there.
I think that could, maybe give them a slow start or something. But do I think it affects the game per se long term? No. I will say, if you are a fan and you're going to this game, I think anybody that goes in should be put on a list, and they should all be looked into as to their mental states. Because I got to tell you, I don't want to go to a game when it's perfect weather and I can be Ubered to the stadium and Uber. What would possess an individual to want to do this? I don't get it.
I can't wait. I want to see the best fan base in America, the Chiefs Queendom, not show up, and I'm going to fucking proliferate them on Monday.
Nah, they gonna show up, man. Y'all know that. They Chiefs. One thing about Chiefs Kingdom, they gonna show up.
I mean, honest. I mean this with sincerity. I'm surprised they haven't moved this game because of the soft culture that we live in. I'm surprised that the NFL, who's moving games to Peacock, won't move this game for the viewing pleasure of ratings and so on and so forth. You're putting this game on Peacock? Bad choice. I'm not getting it.
Hold on real quick then. So do you think they should move it then? Or are you actually proud that they're like standing, putting their foot down?
I'm proud they're not moving it, but I'm surprised that they haven't moved it.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, especially in this like culture we're in now, you would have thought that. And look, is it for sure they won't move it? I mean, you still have. I mean,
it can't be this late. Yes,
well, you got a day. You got a day now. I don't think so. But the Bills and Steelers have been discussing moving all week long. The snow was all the way up to the scoreboard in Orchard Park, and moving to that game, Bills over Steelers. I got a scenario for you, and that I'm very intrigued with, and I go totally against Dan Orlovsky. I texted him yesterday when he made this statement on ESPN, and then I'm glad that other people went against him. He's like, Belichick is too classy to go take an AFC East job. And I'm sitting there like, what? So then when I heard Jeff Saturday and everybody like, you crazy as hell, he would take the fucking any job in the AFC East tomorrow if he had a quarterback and a chance to win. I think he's the killer that a lot of coaches lack. They don't have that killer instinct anymore. We wear capri pants on the sideline and shit like that. I think he takes the Bills' job if they lose and they fire McDermott. If the Bills lose this job, Jeff, I'm going to go on a limb, and I think they go after Belichick. Why would you not? I would go after Belichick in a fucking New York minute if I'm the Bills and let Robert Kraft deal with it because he's free. There is no more trading for him and all that shit that happened with Bill Parcells and the Jets and all that. I want to see him to the Bills. That's my number one goal in life. I want to see him go to the Bills like I want to see Pete Carroll end up at SC again. That's how bad I want to see some shit.
Well, I'll say this, just one thing on the cold weather. I believe the top 10 coldest games ever, every game went under. Very low scoring, just to point that out. Here's what I'll say. I think if the Dallas Cowboys lose to the Packers, I think Mr. Belichick will go to Dallas. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me. I started the show off today. We got about 11 minutes. I started the show off today with a rant with Smitty about Sirianni being on the hot seat because of the fact that Belichick's of the world exist out there that's never had this. 24 years we haven't had the guy like Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, all disappear in one foul swoop in a 24-hour span. And you've never had guys that have won Super Bowls available as head coaches during this part of the year. Usually it's always about what coordinator are we going to hire, Jeff? What young guy can we get to be the head coach? You got 2 Super Bowl winning guys here available, albeit they're older. Is that why Sirianni's taking heat? Because I hate the narrative to get rid of a guy after he was a fucking play away from winning a Super Bowl less than 11 months ago. I just think that's the narrative we push, and I think it's very dangerous, not only to coaches, but players. And I started to rant off with that, and I want to get your take because you're a Philly guy. You're right there in the backyard. Sirianni, in my opinion, would be it would be fucking a joke to fire him, even though the team spiraled out of control.
Well, I'll say, I don't think
2-3 years, dog. This is a quick judgment after a year being removed from a Super Bowl.
No, listen, I think these people around here that say he's like I've said, I think he should be fired. Do I think he ultimately will? No, because they're going to say, well, we know we let it get away from you a little bit. He'll say, well, we made some bad decisions with the coordinators, but look at what I did when we had good coordinators. He'll get another year or two out of this. Trust me. I don't think it's a good decision. I don't think he's a good coach. I didn't understand the hire at the beginning. It worked out, I guess, per se, but I think a lot of it had to do with the coordinators. They need to go out and stop the ring around the rosy with the coordinators. They need to get good coordinators. The problem is when you get good coordinators is they leave, right? Other teams want them. They need to make some decisions and get some good coordinators. But, yeah, I agree. I don't think he'll be fired. I think Lurie will give him another year or two. Lurie's not one to pull the string so quick. And a lot of people bring up Doug Peterson. The Doug Peterson stuff I thought was a little odd. I didn't understand it, but from what I understand, Doug didn't want to get involved with the coordinator searches. He just wanted to be a coach, and that was it, which was kind of weird. And they were willing to cut bait. They didn't have a great season the year after they won the Super Bowl. But yeah, I would fire him, but that's why I'm not a GM. So
here's the thing about it. We're so quick to judge these guys and so fast because we want instant gratification because I believe of the social media platforms that we allow idiots to have a hold of. And they push the narrative to the big conglomerates that push the narrative to let's move on. Just remember, 3 weeks ago, motherfuckers wanted Tomlin fired. Now he's the greatest thing since sliced bread for getting his team to playoffs with his quarterback situation, blah, 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 blah. 3 weeks ago, if he would have lost these other 2 games, he wouldn't have been in the playoffs. We'd be talking about firing him right now.
But fans always do that, right? And who am I to say? Because Philly, they do it all the time. I think the truth is if Nick wasn't as kind of out there and kind of cringy as he is, look at the coach from the Chargers. He was just fired and that was it. No one ever heard anything again. Nick Sirianni, I think if he wasn't so out there and braggadocious, it would not be as a big a thing. Plus, he's completely lost control of his team, right? Both coordinators didn't work out. You hear all this stuff in the locker room that may or may not be true. I think he's just kind of lost control a little bit. And it makes it worse because he is so, just cringy.
Out there. Yeah.
All right, let's get through these games. Bills, Steelers. Are you heavy Bills here, or is this going to be a closer game than you think? This is a Pittsburgh Steeler type of game. This is black and blue weather game, another shitty game weather-wise, snow, wind chill. They were talking about moving this game to Cleveland. Where are you at with this game? I know the over-under on it is 35.5, and Buffalo favored by 9.5. I don't like that.
No TJ Watt, by the way.
Yeah, I bet this at 10. I took the Steelers. I just think this is a crazy price in a playoff game. And it seems like the Bills are being a little overvalued in the market as far as what I look at. This is a Bills team that 4 or 5 weeks ago, look, they struggle to win games. They constantly find ways to keep games close or to piss a game away. I'm just not in belief that the Bills are going to beat a really good defense. I know they don't have Watt, but they're still a good defense. Weather's going to be a problem in these games. And I don't know that I trust Josh Allen to win a game by double digits, and neither does the betting markets because this number was 10.5. It's now down to 9.5. Sharp money has come in and taken Pittsburgh. So, look, do I think Pittsburgh wins? No. I could see this game, though, being, 27-20, 24, 14, around that area, something like that. I would take 10.5 for sure.
Smitty, you got the Bills. I'm gonna roll with the Bills because of Josh Allen versus Mason Rudolph. Allen has won playoffs before. I'm gonna go with the Bills as well. So
just point this out. Last 10 games laying points as a favorite. So laying points 3-7 against the spread. The Bills, they do not cover these types of games. Throw in the fact it's a playoff game, very concerning.
Let's go to the Rams game. Rams-Lions. I got Rams big. I think the Rams are big in this game. I think Stafford wants to go back there in a respectful manner and give Detroit a shit sandwich. I don't think Detroit can cover any one of their receivers, not even Tutu Atwell in the slot. So I like the Rams big, especially with the way they've been running the ball with Kyron Williams, who's over the last 10 weeks probably the best running back in football, to be honest with you, just pure number-wise. Almost had 200 on Baltimore. I mean, this guy is running the ball hard, and the offensive scheme by McVay is a very, very good one in a hard matchup with all the tight ends they move around. I don't think Detroit's ready for this aerial assault mixed in with the run and boot naked and the sprint out game that McVay is going to.
Can you define big though? When you say big, what are you saying? Like Rams win by 10 or more? Like, what do you mean by that?
In the NFL, I believe 10 points is a lot. I think it's going to be a 10 to 14 to 17 point ball game. I think Jared Goff pisses down his leg late in the game. I think it'll be close to 3 quarters, and I think Jared Goff will throw a pick or fumble or do something that he's always done in big games, and the Rams will take over. I think the I think the Rams D-line is playing better. Their corners are playing a lot better than Jeff and I both thought with the young additions. I think Les Snead, GM there, is very undervalued, and he's done a hell of a job, not only with the Nakua obvious pick of Rookie of the Year and all that, but also with the corners and the D-line. He's got 2 D-ends and D-linemen that nobody even knew in the draft. It's got 10 sacks. Like, he's done a hell of a job in the draft. And I think the Rams are a dangerous out, and that's not a good matchup for this Lions team, in my opinion, as far as a coaching standpoint. And for a guy that's won the Super Bowl, I think he smells blood in the water. I think Stafford is hungry, and I think he's healthy, and I think they're going to be dangerous.
Yeah, so this shows, I think, how long I've been doing this. In 2013, the biggest bet I've ever hit was betting against Jared Goff. He was a freshman at Cal. They were playing Oregon State, and I remember the wager. I remember everything I was doing that night. It was the biggest game I ever hit. And I would relate it to this game because I don't think it's that level of bet for me, but I do like the Rams surely in this game. I think they're legit. I remember if you go back to the beginning of the season, I thought this was a playoff team. I thought defensively they'd be fine. Offensively, we know they're good. They have playmakers everywhere. But I think the best play in this game, I think it's the best player of the playoffs, probably, the over. I think there's points galore in this game. These are 2 of the top 5 best red zone teams as far as touchdowns in the NFL. You got playmakers all over the field. You have 2 quarterbacks that love to throw the football. You have 2 secondaries, one of which is just bad in the Lions. And I think the Rams, this just kind of turns into a shootout. I think it's like 31-27 Rams. I'm going to go over, and I'm going to lean LA.
Over 51.5.
Yeah, it was been bet up too. I think as long as it stays under 52, I'm very high on this total. I think
and the Detroit favored by 3. I'm fucking taking that. I'm taking the Rams all day.
Well, they're at home, so naturally you get 3 points just off. So it's damn near just easy.
It's a pickup basically. That's what I'm telling you.
All right,
but I don't think it's a pickup. I think the Rams defense is better than the Lions.
Me too.
It is.
I'm going to transition to the Cowboys game. We'll do the Monday night game last. I'm going to transition to the Cowboys-Packers. I'm going to go with them. I think the game will be a little closer than people think. I think the Cowboys will probably pull away late third quarter or so. I think Jordan Love's playing really, really well, but I don't know if he's going to be able to play well in Dallas. Dallas is just different at home. I think they're playing better than most teams do.
They haven't lost at home, I don't think. Honestly, all they did was once.
I'm gonna go Cowboys. I think Dak finally got over the hump by beating the Bucs last year in that first rounder. I think that was on the road. This one's at home. I think he'll get another win, but then that'll be it. I'm gonna take Cowboys, Jeff.
You know, I didn't think that would happen, but it has. Jordan Love. Great season. You got to give the guy credit. I mean, second in the NFL in touchdown passes, top 10 in passing yard. It was very solid. I mean, for a rookie, or not a rookie, but a young player. I would grab 7 here personally. I think the Cowboys will win, but I don't know if they're going to overtake the Packers like I think a lot of us think. Jordan Love's been tough. Their defense has been pretty solid. I think Dallas, again, will win, but I could see it, 27-23. 27-20, something like that. It's not a game I'll be betting personally, but I lean Green Bay here plus the points.
Yeah. So you take Green Bay with the points.
Yeah, I think 7's too many. I think this could be a close game, 4-point game, 6-point game. Dallas is much better offensively. I think we know that, but I think Jordan Love's solid. We got to give him credit. They have a good defense. I think they can match up. When we look at numbers, strictly numbers, these defenses are, look, Packers are a little worse, but it's not by much.
Yeah. All right, Monday night game. I've changed my thoughts. I just got to go with a team that went to the Super Bowl last year to fucking figure it out. I just don't see them. I like Smitty. I'm just gonna go with my gut. Like, there's no way this team just
right.
like if they. Here's to Jeff's point. Now, if they go on this losing streak that they're on, and this whole talk about the locker room being dysfunctional and disgruntled and all this shit, and they go out and lose to the Bucs, I would be more pressed to have validity in firing Sirianni, because your team is showing me that you're leading into next year on a fucking downward spiral. So that is a very, very pressure spot to be in for Sirianni this Monday. I would lean that way. I think they have to band together and win this game for him. And I'm gonna go with the Eagles. Or it could be one of the most biggest blow-ups in recent history, Jeff, in the NFL.
Listen, it's not might be. It is. Okay. We have to remember, again, when they were 10-1, no team that was 10-1 never didn't win 12 games. The Eagles were the first team to do it. I mean, there was no way they were going to lose to Seattle. Then they lose to Seattle. There was no way they were going to lose to Arizona. Then they lose to Arizona. There was no way they were going to lose to the Giants. They lose to the Giants. And this is why, as a fan, I think you have to fire Sirianni if you lose this game, because what is the future going to look like? If you cannot figure it out in a gimme desperate game where you got a decent draw in the playoffs, and he told us all year, well, we'll rally together when the playoffs come. Then you don't rally when the playoffs come. What I think's happening is, I think, sadly, the worst possible situation is happening for the Eagles. I think they're realizing this defense, you may have one or two players you're going to keep. On offense, maybe they're finding out maybe Jalen Hurts isn't as good as we thought he was. Maybe A.J. Brown's not going to be here long term because we pissed him off. Maybe Dallas Goedert isn't anywhere near what Jason Kelce or George Kittle is. And you have an old offensive line where it's probable maybe one or two of the transcendent offensive linemen you have retire. Then what? So maybe that's what they're looking at. They have 5 draft picks next year. They're not going to get better doing that. This is a bad situation, and maybe they're just looking and saying, we're going to blow it all up. However, I'm not betting this game. I'm not instructing anyone to bet this game. I think the Eagles will find a way, but it wouldn't surprise me if they lose, because nothing has surprised me over the last 6 weeks.
I'm going with Baker's Bucks. They're at home. The Eagles are ice cold right now. I don't know what the hell's going on in the locker room, but it ain't right. And the way, and like Jeff just listed, we didn't think they were going to lose against the Cardinals. They lost against the Cardinals. We didn't think they would lose against the Giants. They lost against the Giants. Don't forget, I don't know the health situation of A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith was a little banged up. Jalen Hurts' finger, I know it's not a big deal, based upon what JB told me, because JB's got the injury, but his finger messed up, so they're not healthy. The defense is injuries in the secondary. So it's not looking good, man. And I do agree with you guys. If they lose this game, Sirianni's seat is super hot. But it's also crazy, too, because it's like, okay, let's say they find a way to win. Is he now good now because he won one game? It's crazy how that works. Like, he goes out here and beats the Bucks, which they should, in the wild card, but then they go to the divisional round. I think they would play the Cowboys, too, if I'm not mistaken. They go out there and they lose that. So he's safe. Like, what does he have to do to secure his job? Just win one game? That's crazy to me. So I don't know.
The thought is, I mean, and we remember they took care of the Bucks this season, beat them, I think, in one of the more complete games they've had. Way back beginning of the season. That said, I mean, Mike Evans against this secondary is concerning. I mean, it just is. This defense is bad. I mean, this defense is surely the worst, maybe outside of the Lions left. I mean, Lions are even better. This defense sucks. You have guys like Hassan Reddick playing in coverage. I mean, they're just completely lost. I don't know where to go. But yeah, I wouldn't have any interest in betting on them. No shot.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm gonna roll with the Eagles to win this one, but I know everybody's heavy on the Bucks in this game. They got to get over it and figure it out. Hey man, what's wrong with my UCLA Bruins in college basketball? I've never seen UCLA this bad in my entire life on the planet. And remind you, I know the head coach well. He's a good friend of mine. I've been a UCLA basketball guy forever. Obviously, on the sideline when they won a natty with Ed O'Bannon. What the fuck's going on? And this is from an inside source, and I'm going to give you this that you know more college basketball than I will ever know. I'm going to say what I've been told. Too many Euros, way too fucking soft. What do you think?
Well, and I also throw in they don't have any scorers. They lost last night 90-44. 90-44. I mean, that's
to Utah.
To Utah, yeah.
Oh.
So, look, I'll give them a little bit. I mean, they didn't lose Jaquez. They lose, Tiger Campbell. They obviously lost Juzang a year or two ago. So they lost a lot of talent, but it's Mick Cronin's job to go out and bring in new talent, and
You're right.
he hasn't done that.
You're right.
I think that time has ended. I think Mick Cronin should be. You got to move on from that. The whole defensive stuff hadn't worked. Now then, that's it though. I mean, this is a team that was in the deep into the NCAA tournament the last couple of years. You give them, I guess, another year to go out and get some new talent, but they don't have any scorers. This roster sucks. They don't have any guard play that's any good. Yeah, they're bad. They're bad again.
Blake, take your Kansas homer glasses off. They just lost on the road to fucking UCF or some shit.
Correct.
Stop it.
Listen, college basketball is very parity-based. There's a lot of good teams this year. A lot of good teams.
Really? Is it a lot of good or a lot of bad and everybody looks good?
Oh, there's a lot of very good teams. I think there's probably 10 really good teams.
JB always want to sway negative. He always wants to, fuck that. Is it really good? He said it was really good. You heard what he said. Why you got to repeat
He
it?
runs and hides because he can't back his.
Because he's laughing. He always does this, man. He finds one. No, they're not really that good. Everybody else is shitty. Like, no, it's fuck. They're good. It's parody. It's okay, JB. Fuck.
Hey, Jeff, what's going on this weekend? You got any plans?
I'm just getting over not feeling real well. Hopefully I feel better, Not really, typical shit. That's Joe before, huh?
Same here, man. Y'all pound that like button, man. Subscribe, man.
What's with that shirt, Jason?
I don't know. Somebody put that on me. I don't wish, but I wish I would wear some skinny ass tight jeans like that.
That shirt is rough.
I will be cooking this weekend though, Jeff. I'm going to do something. I don't know if LA is going to look that pristine this weekend or not. It's cold out here, and I am going to be the coach of Alabama. But having said that, what do you think about Belichick's presser yesterday?
Hi, morning.
Kind of cringe. You get cringe vibe or weird, or what do you think about that?
I've said before.
It was classy. It was classy, I guess.
I've said before though, the whole I hate the world thing. Like, we get it, Belichick. You hate everything. Like, the people like that are just kind of like, enough. Like, we get you're a tough guy. Look, Bill Belichick, I think would have been a great enforcer in the mafia or something. But I get, dude. Like, you hate everything. Well, hey, we're a lot of media here today. Like, can you ever be exciting about anything?
Some players though came out and said if you really know Belichick internally, inside, he'll joke. He's funny. Like he just he don't really fuck with media like that. He don't want to give away too much. So I think that's.
But again, the media, they're not I know certain media sucks, but those sports media guys, a lot of them are just trying to put a story together, But I don't know. He's all right. We'll see where he goes next. Isn't he 70? Does he even want to coach?
71. Him, Saban, and Peter all 71, 72.
Shout out to, by the way, Magalese Omar.
Stop, Jeff. Stop, Jeff. Stop.
I'm not interested in meeting up. No.
Okay.
Hey, Jeff, shout out to everybody in the world. Hopefully we're not in World War III on Monday. And
Who is that?
We'll talk offline.
No, but real quick, before we go, I think we really need to focus on one thing. Joe Biden is a warmonger. This guy loves war. He wants to be in wars with everybody. And for you not reading the tea leaves, those Yemeni folks are tied to Iran. So,
it's an election year. I don't know. It's election year. Shout out to everybody. Pound the like, subscribe, become a member. We'll be back Monday. Big Jeff will be back with us next week, and we'll talk about his picks on Monday. And good betting, good luck, and hopefully we're not in war. And Smitty can, get some sleep and eat some, for a guy that's on a diet, Jeff, this motherfucker goes to every farmer's market. He eats every snack, every baked good, every cookie, every fucking pie, and then he tells me to drink water. You fucking.
I'm still the best looking guy on this show.
The difference between you and him is he works out pretty fiercely and you don't.
Talk to him, Jeff. Talk to him, Jeff.
Like me, I run a mile and a half every day, so I eat a little bit more freely.
It's all fallacy.
Me and Jeff look way better than you, JB. If we all take our shirt off right now, we look way better than you right now, JB.
I doubt it, but it's cool. You could try it. Hey, man, much love. We'll see you guys Monday. Peace.
We switched it and filled the gap. Smitty and Jason Brown, we killed it, yeah, it's a wrap. We want the games we're missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
You are now tuned in to the Coach JB Show.